This is your home for the Cardinals. Eudora Sports Live.
Van Dong in motion. The give is to Moody. Moody ducks down and dives in. He's standing over the ball. He's going to take it quickly. Looking across the field, and he's got it! It's Jude Whalen. And now Addy Hephill puts it away for the Cards. They'll take a 2-set lead. Hendrickson in motion, give to Duncan. Duncan, and he trucks the safety. Is he in?
It's time for the Cardinals on your home for Eudora High School Athletics. Eudora Sports Live.
Well, it is that time again. Playoff football here in Eudora. One goes on and one goes home. A regional champion will be crowned tonight. For the Cardinals, they're trying to win another game in a row and remain undefeated against Frontier League teams after earning the title in perfect fashion, and also repeat over a team that they beat very comfortably only 2 weeks ago. But for the Panthers, this will feel all too familiar and very, very different. They will come in trying to play spoiler, everything on the line, playing with house money. They're expected to lose, and they wouldn't have it any other way. They've guaranteed that they'll at least finish 500, so they know how to win games. I'm Reed McAvoy. I'll be joined with Hayden Harves. We're going to take a break here. When we're back, it's the pregame show. Keep it here on Eudora Sports Live.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, pregame show brought to us by Fort Scott Community College. You belong at Fort Scott Community College. From nursing to farm and ranch management, John Deere tech to theater, and so much more, plus championship caliber athletic programs. You can learn more at fortscott.edu. So looking at this matchup, it's the 28th time all time that the Cardinals and the Panthers meet. First time was in 1996, and it's the fourth time they meet in the postseason. The most interesting of those came in 2002, where the Cardinals won 44-0 in the regular season, but then had to beat them 15-14 in overtime. A little bit of a similar story here maybe, though I don't know if the Cardinals would like it to be that dramatic in order to get past the Panthers. They beat them 46-7 just 2 weeks ago. It was 46-0 heading into the fourth quarter. And of course the Cardinals are coming off a couple comfortable victories, could maybe try and make it 3 in a row. But I think that these Panthers, as I said in that intro, I think these Panthers, they come in knowing the stakes here, knowing the season could end here tonight, and I think that that could set them free. They are a dangerous team. They score a lot of points, or at least they can score a lot of points. They've scored at least 33 points in their last every game in the last 5 weeks, except for their matchup with the Cardinals, where they were held to only 7 points. But they are generally a very prolific offense, averaging more than 30 points every game this season. The Cardinals, have averaged more than 30 points every game this season. We'll get into more stats when Hayden Harves joins me here up in the booth. The Cardinals are going through some pregame rituals here we can show you. But we will go ahead and go back to another break. We're about 14 minutes out from our opening kickoff, which will be brought to us by Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive. But keep it here. You're in the right place for Eudora Cardinals football.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
All right, back here on the Fort Scott Community College pregame show. Hayden Harves alongside myself, Reed McAvoy. Get into some of the questions that we got to talk to Coach Steffen about throughout the week here. First was asking him about the game against Field Kinley. He said he felt like that game went well, of course, aside from the fumble. He said they took care of business on both sides and got their younger guys in early and were able to get some good experience. And speaking of the younger guys, he was excited to mention that Andrew Staples will be back for this game. He's one of the freshmen on this roster. He says that he's very excited for the role he will get to play on special teams. Looking at this matchup here, or actually one more thing from that one, I asked him, Hayden, will we get to see that senior play again? We sort of speculated during the Field Kinley game if we would see them get another try. If you remember, it was senior night, so they had, I think it was 10 seniors out on the field, and right away they got a false start. That was a great beginning to the game, and then a bad snap resulted in a turnover to begin the game against the 16th ranked team, Field Kinley, that hadn't won a game all year, and we had said the Cardinals need to make sure they don't beat themselves. Coach was pretty short with his answer, and this is easily, or absolutely, the first time I've seen him use LOL in one of his responses. He said, that was a senior night special. No second chances. Lol. So that was pretty clear there. I just asked him, is there any chance we see it again against Paola? The answer is no. The Card's about to take the field here. Hayden, if you want to show that. They got the path ready for them to enter. But I asked him, I mentioned that stat, that they've only scored the Panthers have scored 33 points at least in their last 5 games, except when they faced the Cards and they were held to 7. What will it take to repeat that type of performance? He said, we've got to be physical, stop the run, and then be good with our eyes in the pass game. Our D-line is excited to get after them in the run game, so they have a chance to pass rush. We have spent a good amount of time focusing on both this week in practice, and their defense will be ready for the challenge. We're excited to see. I mean, this is a high-flying Panthers team at times, and certainly last year the game against Paola was unbelievable. The Panthers seemed like they were absolutely going to win that game, and right at the last second the Cards were able to take it and then actually make it even look like it wasn't close, even though it absolutely was. But this is a historic matchup, a fun matchup, and I don't know. I certainly do not expect at least don't expect a repeat of 2 weeks ago, the 46-7, where it was 46-0 before we even got to the fourth quarter. I think the Panthers, not that they didn't come out to play in that game, but I think that they're gonna feel different about this one tonight. They're going to be looking at the Cardinals' run that they're on and the fact that they're Frontier League champions, that they're the 1 seed, that they have high expectations, and think, man, how fun would it be to knock that all down, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you come into this one and look at narratives that the Panthers may be looking at. There's a handful that they can look at coming into this game and very passionately say, we want to do each of these things. One, knocking off an undefeated team that has not lost, not undefeated, but
undefeated against Frontier League opponents.
In the Frontier League undefeated, and they haven't lost a game in 8 weeks now, in 2 months. So there's one. 2 is knocking off a team that went undefeated in the Frontier League and has not lost to you in a little while. And 3 is knocking off a team that has deep aspirations of making a big playoff run here. We are midway through, the sub-state region, this corner 4A section of the playoffs, and then it moves on to state championships. This Paola team comes in with nothing to lose and a potent offense, which you and I talked a little bit during the setup. That's a dangerous combination for a team. When you come in with nothing to lose and you're able to run up the scoreboard and get a lot of points, that's certainly something that the Cards are going to be paying close attention to. This is not the kind of team that's going to go down without a fight tonight by any stretch of the imagination. You
weren't in the booth for my intro monologue, but I said these Panthers are expected to not win this game, and I think they wouldn't have it any other way. I think that is exactly how they want to come into this game.
Absolutely.
That they feel like, if it doesn't go their way, that's what was supposed to happen. But if it starts to go their way, even a little bit, the belief that they will feel, the momentum that they will have, I mean, it could lead to a very exciting game. And I asked Coach about this. I'll read the question exactly. I said, this is a feisty opponent. They come in with nothing to lose, and they will feed on the energy of having the chance to play spoiler. How do you deal with an opponent that has that house money mindset and also has the talent to force an upset if enough luck were to go their way? He said, we have to bring good energy and play for our teammates. Unselfish football. This has defined us all year. It was no different in practice all week. We have done a good job with adversity. Now we just have to do it again. And that's a great point. I mean, last week, the exact thing happened right at the start. The Cardinals began to beat themselves and gave a little momentum that they would absolutely never have expected to give up to Field Kinley, but the Cardinals were able to lock in on that game, be who they are supposed to be, and ended up getting the exact score that was expected, winning comfortably against Field Kinley. So your Cardinals are about to take the field here. We'll let the atmosphere speak for itself just for a minute.
Cardinals!
There are the Cardinals. They know what's at stake here. One team's season will end tonight, and they want to make sure that it is not them. They are expected to make a deep run here this season, and they want to make sure that they fulfill those expectations. One last question I got to ask Coach before we head to a break. I asked him, how different is it playing this team a second time around in the same season? Do you have to switch things up, or do you stick with what worked? And he said, I think in the high school game, it's a great thing. We have limited practice time and reps, so teams are going to run their same stuff. It's not like the NFL where things can change quickly. We know what they want to do and how they plan to stop us, so we have to be focused on our assignment and be ready for any wrinkles or trick plays, which they are good at. That is especially true of this Paola team. They are a very tricky team. We remember that from last year. But yeah, I mean, and you know what? Same goes for the other side. Paola know how the Cardinals are going to try to beat them. So I think that's why this could be an even more competitive game here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight for some playoff Cardinals football. We're going to go to another break here on the pregame show, but keep it here.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Rasp gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
At Kent.
All right, we got the coin toss here at midfield. Sometimes the weather might affect what a team wants to do with the ball first, if they're more likely to kick or receive. What do you think we might see here, Hayden, for the Cards?
I mean, we're 9 games into the year now. We have seen 8 times Coach Steffen's philosophy of I want to take the ball at the second half win out. 1 time against Ottawa, we saw Coach Tharp's perspective of I want to score early, take over. This is one of those games where I think the Cards are
I think you'd want to be defensive first.
Yes,
yeah.
Comfortable enough in their offense and their defense. I would expect them to let the Panthers get the first shot with this one, assuming they win the toss.
Well, we are 2.5 minutes from our opening kickoff, which will be brought to us by Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive. Since 2005, Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive have been keeping Eudora moving. Find them at 208 East Street. From tune-ups to major repairs, they service all makes and models with honesty and care. Call 785-542-5152 today, and Wolf Diagnostic will get you back on the road quickly. So it looks like you were right, Hayden. I think that was... They were receiving the kickoff, is that right? Receiving the opening kick, or kicking off, rather.
Yes,
sorry.
seemed the Cardinals won the toss, opted to defer, which does track pretty much perfectly for what we've seen throughout the year.
Yeah, so we will see the Cardinals defense get out there first after the special teams, which special teams have been a weakness for this Cardinals team, even against Field Kinley, a team that did not win a game all year long. They had some big returns against the Cards last week. So this could be a potential tone-setting play for at least this first drive and the start of this game, which I think is going to be really important for Paola to start this game well if they want to have a chance to sort of make the Cardinals uncomfortable, which maybe that is the best they can hope for, is make the Cardinals uncomfortable. But I don't know. I hope that the playoff atmosphere makes this different than the game 2 weeks ago. But
yeah.
it was a fun game for the Cards. I mean, there were, who was it? They scored 4 touchdowns. Keelan Duncan got to the end zone 4 times against Paola. And so maybe he's certainly hoping for a repeat, I suppose.
Be a pretty good night
for his sake, sure, let's have that game all over again. But, you know, for a playoff football game, of course, you want it to be a close game, a fun matchup. The winner of this game will be taking on the winner of 5-seed Tonganoxie and 13-seed Bishop Miege, 2 teams the Cardinals are quite familiar with. We will periodically check in on that game just since it's on Varsity Sports Live Network. We'll maybe give you every quarter and halftime, give you the score going on over there.
Speaking of Varsity Sports Live, want to welcome any Paola fans who might be tuned in here. Of course, Paola Sports Live was live for Sumner Academy's game last week. They are not here in the building today. So any Paola faithful who are tuned in to watch your team take on this Cardinals roster tonight, we thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, shout out to Aaron Feely and everybody over there with Paola. So here is our opening kick. It'll be done back to get us started. 3 receivers deep for Paola. It is the middleman that brings it in at the 15. Gets out to the 20, 25, and brought down inside the 30. Looked like Colton Bowser was in on the tackle there. Cards getting off to a solid start. They'll feel good about getting to it early. Jarrett Phillips also comes up celebrating. A couple seniors in on that first play on special teams.
Yeah, I think it's important to note coming into this one, Reed, as we open up this first drive. Last week, of course, you're playing against a winless team. it still felt very significant that the Cardinals started as sloppy as they did. I think that's going to be a big point of emphasis for Coach Steffen here, is to, of course, starting on defense instead of offense. You want to avoid slipping up the same way you did last week. A strong start here is going to be really big for the Cards' first half here, if I had to guess.
Absolutely. We mentioned the weather but didn't give the specifics. It's 56 degrees right now.
It's pretty ideal for the players.
The ones that are playing, that is, at least. It's a toss, and it's a trick play right away. A double handoff behind the line there, and it ends up being the running back Landon Murdoch that comes out with it, the sophomore, getting to the right side, and a pickup of 9. Right away, a little bit of trickeration from the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a good crafty play call and a good way to take advantage of how aggressive this Cards defensive line and linebackers have been getting into the backfield this year. Those guys kind of see red as soon as the snap goes to the quarterback. And you saw, I believe, 3 Cardinals jerseys in the backfield. And when you can get bodies off the line like that, it just makes sweeps open up that much easier to the edge when you can get a blocker.
The Panthers love to get tricky with it. See if they do anything more like that as this game goes on. I would expect it, and that's going to be a short carry, but enough for a first down. It was Bodie Shea, another sophomore, getting the ball. And already the Panthers have moved the chains.
Yeah, it's a good start for them. It's going to be a really big deal, I think, if they're able to keep the ball moving and get first downs. That's when you can feel this game early on kind of start to slip away from a team playing the Cards this year, is when you find yourself in a hole early on in the first half with 3 and outs and turnovers and anything that gives them extra possessions. If the Panthers are able to run some clock and move the chains consistently on this opening drive, even if they don't score, you're setting a really good tone for the rest of the night.
Here is the snap. It's a play action. It's going to be kept by the QB, who's not going to go anywhere before Leland Bradshaw brings him down to the ground. No gain, maybe even a loss there on the first down play.
It's a great job by the Cards defense to make things difficult on an offense. We mentioned just now getting positive yards and moving the chains. A negative play on first down may be the most significant loss you can have during a drive. Because coaches are looking at their playbook, you've got a very specific sequence you want to call plays in, and that almost always assumes you get positive yardage on first down.
They've got 4 wide here. Taking the snap. No, flags down here before Mason Stein can go to work.
Looks like some movement early up front.
And it's going to be against the Cards.
Penalty's going to go against the Cardinals. Offsides is the call.
So any advantage from that first down stuff is lost right there, as this ball will move up to the 45-yard line. Cardinals have struggled with beating themselves on penalties, mostly on offense this year, but also on defense at times. And that will give some yardage to the Panthers, who are already moving here on their opening drive. Mason Stein takes the snap, looking to his right, wants to throw, will throw over the middle, and he had a man, but it's dropped by Blake Costlow. The junior couldn't bring it in.
That's a ball you're definitely going to want back. If you're Mason Stein, you could have set up a really manageable situation from close to the red zone. Instead, he overthrows him just a little bit. I was going to say right before that snap, I was wondering if the Panthers, or when more so, they were going to pull the trigger on some of those deeper pass attempts, because that's really the only point where you could say this Cards secondary has been weak this year.
I still don't think we've seen a team try to exploit it enough, honestly.
No, yeah.
It has been a really bad weakness for the Cardinals, where it feels like almost every time a team tries it, it could work. And they will try it again, but maybe we're going to get proven wrong. We absolutely are. Elijah Cloves brings it in.
Maybe we should use this announcer's curse for good, Reed.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, we have seriously not seen a team do that enough against the Cards, but it feels like every time they have, it's either worked or been a drop like it was on the previous play. But this time, Elijah Cloves, who has been fantastic all year long defensively, he was at the linebacker spot, dropped back deep, brings in the pass there, intercepted on third down, and the Cardinals can get to work now.
Yeah, that's something you can go, a positive for the Cards defense, even if they may have been weaker against the pass. Putting pressure down on third downs has been something they've been great at all year. They sent a little pressure, made Stein make an uncomfy throw, and one extra body in the secondary brings them up huge.
So now they will go to work at the 25. It's Carnegie in at QB. He tosses to Moody. Moody's going. He's got the first and more. He's in the Panthers' territory. Moody's still going. Oh, and he's brought down a shoestring tackle right around the 26-yard line. A huge first play for
this. That could have been a one-play touchdown as well. Very, very well could have been, if not for a heroic last-second tackle. That was Ashton Bonham.
I believe that was a 44-yard run there by Grayson Moody. We've seen a couple of teams really hone in on him and sometimes really lock him up, but it only took one play for him to get free there.
Well, there it was just making one man miss early on in the run. As soon as he got that first block set up, no stopping him.
Carnegie will toss this time to the senior Mulvihill. Going to the left side, brought down after a few.
He's tripped up well, but I'm impressed with the fact that he still managed to get some significant positive yards there. Looked as if he could have gone down. And I don't know if we've mentioned it yet today, but it does appear to be Houston Carnegie in the starting fold on these first 2 snaps so far for the Cards.
We asked Coach about those outside runs, and he said he really likes it as a switch up or a change up from those runs up the middle that we see with Moody and Duncan so often. Sometimes it even is Duncan going out wide, but it's oftentimes Mulvihill or even a receiver. This time it is going to be Keelan Duncan. 4 touchdowns he scored against Paola in the game a couple weeks ago. And
he is one of the most impressive players on this whole Cards roster to me. And it's in a strange sense. I can't necessarily put my finger on what it is in particular. He always manages to fall forward for more yards than you think he's going to get. He's also made some heroic catches, all kinds of plays. No surprise whatsoever that he seems to be a favorite weapon within this Coach Stephan offense.
Not to mention he's big on defense too, and he's only a sophomore. Here's Carnegie again under center, and he hands it off to Moody. Moody sits a man down, but then that's a great tackle there.
Yes.
After getting trucked, the Paola player, let's see, that was Landon Murdoch able to bring him down, but Moody has not moved the chains. It'll be 2nd and inches.
Could be a situation where the pride is hurt more than anything, but certainly not an easy tackle to make whatsoever. Got to be very conscious through the fact that you're getting pushed backwards to get a hold of the legs.
Oh no, okay, it is a first down. Sorry, 1st and goal here for the Cards. Moody did move the chains. Will they go back to number 4 once again? You'd have to expect that the answer is yes. It's exactly what they'll do on the toss to the right side, and he is brought down. Wrapped up, it looked like that was Murdoch once again.
Panthers are doing a good job so far to get into the backfield and disrupt some of these rushing lanes for Moody. Haven't necessarily been the most successful at it before that play, but as we know, trenches, if you're making good effort up front in the trenches, that effort will be put on display a lot more as the game goes on. So far, the Cards certainly coming up on the better side of it, but a lot of fight up front from the Panthers, which will be a necessity for them to stay in this game.
Here is 2nd and goal from the 4. Preston White out on the left side. Moody the back. In motion is Mulvihill. It'll be another give to Grayson Moody. Fighting for it, and he will be short. 3rd down and goal.
Pretty sure a Panthers player jumped on top of his helmet.
Yes. So now the Cardinals need to get it in here. You'd imagine they would probably go for it. Could take the lead by way of a so inclined, but so close to the goal line. Maybe Grayson Moody will make it a non-issue and get in here.
Certainly possible. Could also see a little bit of trickery, one of those outside runs. We've seen Preston White get carries too. The playbook is wide open right here.
Panthers stack in the box. 3rd and goal, only a couple yards out. Another give to Moody, runs into a wall, but keeps fighting, pushing, and scores. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Only a matter of time. You give Grayson Moody so many touches, eventually he's going to get his. And that gives the Cards a big early lead after a drive that looked kind of promising from the Panthers. But the Cards come up with the 1-possession lead early on.
Yeah, 2 big 3rd down plays. We saw the Klobes interception, and then now a Cardinals touchdown on 3rd and goal. And Dunback will look to make it a clean 7-0 lead here from the first drive for the Cards. A high snap, but dealt with well by Carnegie and true by Dunback. It is 7-0 to Eudora. We'll take a break and be right back.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent,
All right, 6 minutes and 1 second remaining here in this first quarter. The Cardinals, after the interception from Klobes, drove down and scored thanks to Grayson Moody, a 44-yard run, and then finishing it off from 2 yards out. So they have their early lead. They have the lead that they're expected to have in this game. What will the Panthers do on this second drive? They had a promising start, but then stalled out trying to move the chains for a second time. Ended up throwing a pick deep, but I like the idea to test the Cardinals deep.
Absolutely.
They've been vulnerable there, but maybe the Panthers will be scared away from that. We will see. Here is another kick return opportunity here for Pichnenko. Pichnenko will be brought down right at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I agree with you, Reed. I don't dislike the idea whatsoever. The execution, of course, was below their standard of what they're going to want to execute tonight, but I think that's the key. I think that's how you get a little bit of an edge on this Cards defense that's been so stout this year. Coming into tonight, they've only allowed 12.6 points per game on average. They've been a wall, truly, for teams to try to score points against, but I do think that's the way you do it. You try to set up third downs that are, I'd say, within 4 or 5 yards where there's still some threat to run the ball, and then try to target them in the passing lanes, but Cards did do a good job defending it early.
And a lot of times that they've been scored on, their offense put them in a tough spot, giving away the ball, or it was a big kick return, something like that. So really, this defense has been phenomenal for the Cardinals, especially on the late downs. Oh, it's going to be a pass here after the handoff, and they will complete a big play. This is Landon Murdoch bringing in the catch from Blake Costello, who is listed as a QB. He was playing running back on that play. More trickeration from Paola right away. Both times their first play of the drive.
Yeah.
What trick play came from. And it is, those 2 trick plays have worked for the Panthers thus far. Can they continue this drive, though?
And I wanted to say it was wildcat formation, but it really wasn't. It was a handoff to the running back, but almost immediately set his feet looking downfield. Really nice play design from the Panthers there.
Yeah, they've got him listed at QB, but I see him playing slot here, Costello, and now Stein will throw, and it's going to be brought in over there, despite some tight coverage.
See, Klobes, I believe, over there maybe got a little bit aggressive, trying to get another hand to it.
Yeah, it was Klobes on Metcalf, Trace Metcalf, who brought it in, one of the seniors for this Panthers roster.
I think getting yards here on the second down is, of course, the threat, being able to throw it on those third downs really only works to its full potential if there's some threat of you running it. 3rd down and 10, you become pretty one-dimensional.
It'll be 2nd and 3 here. Panthers in Eudora territory for the first time. Oh, Stein with some moves, running, and he will maybe convert here. Let's see. Yes, they will give him. Oh, Stephen thinks they have the ball, do they?
Stein, the ball carrier.
I didn't even see that it came out, but Coach Stephen was very emphatic that his team came away with it. But they will.
They say probably a knee or an elbow went down.
Yes, they will call him down, and he did get the first.
First down for the Panthers.
I don't even think we can have too strong of an opinion about that because neither of us saw the ball pop out. It would have been a late fumble, if anything.
I don't know if I've seen Coach Stephen jump up and down like that much this season. I mean, not that he doesn't care about his team. He absolutely does, but he was...
It's a playoff game,
He was very excited. Yeah, you can see what the playoffs mean to him.
Standards are a bit higher. Your margin for error is quite a bit thinner.
Looks like Panthers are probably going to be taking a timeout here. So we will go ahead and go to a quick break. Panthers take the first timeout of the game.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right, back out of the Panthers timeout. It's 1st and 10 at the 35 after the quarterback run. They are 4 wide here, and Stein wants to throw. He will throw to the left side. Has a man, and what a catch. Pichnenko gets up and brings it down.
And we learned in the last couple weeks he is an absolute monster when
he was he was the only one there, almost brought that one in.
And I believe that was Bodie Shea in the backfield. The goal there, it was either Bodie Shea or it was Landon Murdoch. May have instead been Murdoch, but either way, there was a receiver going to the flat, and you could tell he was wanting to throw that ball to the flat, but the receiver cut it upfield instead.
Yeah.
So just a miscommunication. But
if Bowser brought that one in, he would have been gone.
Yes.
No question. Gone forever.
Oh, that is almost the kind of thing. That's a game of inches. When people say game of inches, one small mental lapse like that could have easily given up a touchdown.
Makes a 3rd and short here. Panthers have been passing all of the recent plays, but maybe one try to run, but the Cardinals stack the box, some good blocks, but it's going to be brought down by Newt Schreiner. This will force a 4th and short. You've got to think the Panthers are going to want to go for it.
Man, I think Garrett Golay could have been in the backfield there. I think this is go for it territory.
Oh,
Reed.
absolutely. Has to be.
And you don't play to not lose in this game, right? You got to play to win. And that's going to involve really aggressive moments like this. And this is one of those few plays in a game where we're going to talk about execution mattering here.
So here it is. The crowd start to cheer here for this 4th down play. It's going to be a pass from Stein. He's rolling to his right. Under pressure from Nice. Nice gets to him, but he throws it away. And it's going to be picked. I think it's Cy Thomas with the ball. It is. Thomas trying to get a return here. Still Cy Thomas going to the near side. He's got the edge. And he will end up turning that into a gain. I actually heard someone in the crowd here say, don't catch it, because it was 4th down. But Cy Thomas did make that into a play. One of the quarterbacks for this Cardinals team, extremely dangerous with the ball in his hands. And he gets the Cards to a good spot. Another interception by the defense.
Goodness, and yes, normally you don't want to catch that ball. You want to let it hit the ground, but I get the feeling, and it was proven that Cy Thomas is one of those players who's got enough confidence to him that he says, I can run it back.
It's the type of
I can get some yards.
That's like the type of thing that an Ed Reed would do.
Deion Sanders maybe.
Where they're like taking it out of their linebackers' hands. Give me the football so I can go score.
Or out of their own end zones where a coach is screaming, don't you dare run that out. And they go, no, I can do it.
There are some players that can break the rules.
I mean, some players where they're so talented, coaches almost have to let them go rogue occasionally.
And now he's going to go in there at QB. Probably need a second to catch his breath. I know I would. But
he also got laid out.
No, it looks like there's a flag here. So after all that praise we put on Cy Thomas, it would have been better to let it fall incomplete.
Took a pretty good hit right here in front of us near the 50 as well.
Wow, they backed up deep. So I guess that flag must have happened right away after the interception. It's not negating the Cardinals' pick, it doesn't look like.
I think they'd rather take possession than negate the interception, but you mentioned last week maybe wanting to move the dread zone to inside the 10 instead of the 20.
That's for next year. We'll do it, but it's for next year.
Okay.
That's coming soon.
Well, still, they're inside the 20.
Yeah. This is definitely dread zone territory.
I would hold off on saying it.
But yeah, so it is the Cardinals offense with the ball. This flag must have come right after that interception from Cy Thomas.
And this is a tough spot as an offense, too. You got to be pretty mistake-free here.
Thomas in shotgun. Moody to his left. 3 wide here for the Cards. Not often we see this formation, but it'll be a keeper for Thomas. Thomas trying to find some space and maybe make a play like he did on his interception return. Thomas finding some space to the near side, and he will get a big gain and then get bumped out of bounds. And there is a flag comes in pretty, but the flag came in, same as the hit. It was not a big hit, though, but there was contact on Cy Thomas, and that will give the Cardinals some extra yardage. Thinking the Cardinals' reaction.
I mean, this is certainly one of those situations where home field, because if the crowd didn't erupt the way they did, pretty solid chance that flag doesn't get thrown.
Let's see.
It is.
It will be against the Panthers. It came in so late there, but they make the call on that one, and it gives the Cardinals some extra space. See here, let's take a look. This was a great run by Thomas.
Yeah, again, does something that a coach would tell you not to do, which is to reverse field, and we'll see right here at the sideline. He's certainly out, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a big hit, but if you wanted to say it was late, I'd say that is fairly clearly past that boundary.
34 for Eudora.
Cardinals will take the extra yardage closer to where their drive would have begun, but still further back after They were hurt by the penalty.
Interesting formation here by their standards. 2 receivers bunched.
Yeah, we've seen some different formations here on the first 2 plays with Thomas in at QB, but no different on the play call, handing it to Moody, and a couple Panthers bring him down in the backfield.
Yeah, I think he may have lost 3 or 4 yards even on that one. So that's going to be a...
With quarterback, with Carnegie and Thomas.
It seems to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is there. We can ask Coach about that after it's to offer, and he wants to get them both experience. There's no question as to why he wants to play them both. It's just how he plays them both. Moody will get the yardage back and then a lot more and force a 3rd down and 4, looks like.
Yeah, really good job to turn 2nd and bad into 3rd and pretty manageable. Of course, we know this is a Cardinals offense that would much rather run the ball, so any situation that makes it manageable for them to run is always going to be an ideal one.
Motion man is Duncan. This drive moving.
When your offensive lines open up gaps like this Cardinals offense does, sometimes you don't have to be too tricky.
Here's Duncan on this one. Duncan finding some space, runs a man over, and goes down after getting a pretty solid gain on that one.
Once again, he's so tough to bring down, so feisty when he's running. And he's got to be, we talk so much about Grayson Moody. These 2 guys have to be a nightmare for an opposing linebackers and secondary to try to bring down. And it is so rare that the first man is able to stop them in their tracks. Even if they do end up bringing them down, they're always going to fall forward for yards, it seems like.
45 seconds to go in the quarter, 2nd and 3 in Paola territory. Thomas under center, takes the snap, gives to Moody. Moody has the first, Moody has space. Moody is 1 man to beat. Can he get past him? He cannot. It's a good tackle, but the Cards are going to be inside the red zone.
The game was a Keelan Duncan showcase. This is thoroughly a Grayson Moody one so far. He has found all kinds of room, and like he has for this season and most of last, when he gets a gap and takes a step, he is so hard to keep up with.
So it will be, rather they're not in the inside the 10. I thought it was going to be goal to go. It's going to be from the 12. And it's going to be a give to Duncan, and a flag will come in as Duncan fights for every yard he can get, but these flags up on the first down play. That run by Duncan will be canceled out. It was a different formation there. It looked like almost the I set on that one with Moody being the fullback.
A little more so. Also notice that Brady Von Holton is in as the tight end in most of these packages, where it had been Brock Long for a lot of the season. Certainly run personnel regardless. Still Duncan and Mulvihill lined up as more rushing options.
And here's going to be a toss to Moody, trying to fight forward, and he will be pushed out around the 4-yard line. And that will be the end of the quarter right there. Gone out of bounds. I don't know if they would have stopped the clock there, but no, it looks like that is the end of our first quarter, so the Cardinals will try to score in the other end zone, but they already have the lead here, 7-0 over Paola.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Come today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com. For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585 today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
All right, second quarter action here as the Cardinals are pushing to try and get their second score of the game. It is going to be 2nd and 3 here.
And you could put a lot of pressure on the Panthers here in the second quarter if you're able to score on this possession here. A little more pressure than it may seem here for the Cards.
And team.
Gotta think this is a team he likes playing against.
Seam.
Gotta think this is a team he likes playing against. I have seldom seen him so many times look so comfortable running the football. And it has been in the last month or so, almost all of his biggest runs have come against the Panthers. That one just tossed to the outside and got one block, and he was able to walk in completely untouched.
Excuse me. A Duncan score, and now Dunback trying to add to it. And he will make it. Now Dunback trying to add to it. And he will make it 14-0. Get 14-0. And while we talk about start streaming instead of let's start. Let's call it. All right, so it's 4th and 8 here. Yeah.
Timeouts have been called over on the Paola side.
Paola will have a 1st and 10 from the 14.5-yard line.
So after there was actually a flag there, so it's not 4th and 8 anymore. There was a flag on the play. Apologies, we were down for a bit there, rebuffering things. Hopefully, we'll have some better stream quality at this point. It is going to be 1st and 10 from the 14. The Panthers are driving here, trying to put some pressure on the Cards. Good. They are 4 wide here with the back alongside Stein. They've been throwing the ball quite a bit this drive, but this will be a handoff to Shea. And Shea will go nowhere. Every Cardinals defensive lineman brings him down.
God, I think this Cards D-line was going, finally, you're going to run it at us. These guys have just been waiting for an opportunity to get after a running back, and so far on this drive, the Panthers have largely denied them that possibility. They've been throwing it, I want to say, almost every snap of this entire drive so far. Certainly showing their hand, but to their credit, they've been doing such a good job of it that it hasn't mattered a whole lot.
Defensive penalties have been a bit of an issue for the Cards in this game. They have allowed this drive to continue somewhat for the Panthers. Here is the 2nd and 9. Stein wants to throw, will throw, caught! Touchdown Panthers.
Touchdown,
And that was
Panthers.
a rocket from Stein.
Mason Stein
Directly over into the hands of Murdoch. He was able to get a step on Klobes and did a beautiful job to haul that one in. And just like that, Panthers find themselves a PAT away from only being 1 score in PAT away from tying this game up.
Yeah, so I think it was a fair prediction that this game would feel different than the 46-7 that we saw a couple weeks ago. The Panthers, they are feeling energized with the role that they have here, that they are expected to be beat. They are the underdog. Their season is supposed to end today, and so they are going to fight hard to make sure that that is not what happens as they drive down and score. Before we cut out, we will show you the replay here. Have Hayden walk you through this receiving touchdown by Murdoch.
Yeah, and Stein all day long, this whole drive in particular, has been so composed and confident at driving the ball down the field. It's just a one-on-one with Klobes and Murdoch over on the far side. He was wanting to go there the whole time, sets his feet, and just throws a missile directly into the arms of Murdoch. That's a ball that very well could be dropped in a lot of situations if the cooler weather like this, high pressure, big moment in the lights. He does a great job to reel it in.
Yeah, so 14-7 our score. We'll go to a quick break.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Back here out of the touchdown for the Panthers, caught by Murdoch in the end zone. Panthers have been passing the ball all game long, and honestly, it's sort of been a refreshing approach. The Cardinals have been not tested enough with the passing game. This is going to be Preston White on the return. White finding some room, still going, and around the 37, stopped, but a flag comes in, and it comes in around the 29-yard line. We'll see if there was maybe a hold or something back there.
I would imagine a hold or something related to the block on the run back.
But anyway, Hayden, I'm excited by the way this game is going at this point. The fact that the Panthers were able to drive down there, they did receive some help from the Cardinals, but that's all part of it. And I just think this is going to be a better game. It still absolutely favors the Cardinals, but a good game of football favors everybody. It favors everybody watching to have a good time watching a good competition, and I think that's what the Panthers are here to deliver.
Favors the fans, favors us up here as broadcasters. Like, it's just good, fun football across the board. And you mentioned in the break, this is probably what teams should have been doing against the Cardinals for a lot of the season in order to move the ball effectively against them, is just to throw it a bit more. But you've got to have a good quarterback to do that. You've got to have a line that can hold up long enough to do it. Panthers have, to their credit, done a really good job tonight taking advantage of that weakness.
They do get backed up, the Cards, after the penalty, but it's going to be a give to, let's see. Who was it?
Moody had it initially. Looks like Carnegie ended up keeping it. He did get quite a few yards on the game. Fresh set of downs will be moving the chains in favor of the Cardinals here as they approach midfield.
1st and 10 for Eudora.
So 1st and 10 at the 35. Carnegie continues to lead the drive. That same flex bone formation we've seen for the last however many years with Stefan. And this time it'll be up the middle here, still fighting for yards.
Wow.
And Moody, I think, moves the chains here. No, they're going to say, well, they're deciding here.
That's very close.
On the stop.
And they will move the chains. 1st down, Cards. Trying to get in another score here. They might be able to eat up a lot of the remaining time in this quarter. The Cards have had a lot of methodical drives over this season.
Yeah, if they're conscious about the clock while they drive the ball here, they could absolutely run 3 or 4 minutes here if they score on this drive effectively.
And remember, they receive the opening kick of the second half. Carnegie's going to throw, looking for White. White under all kinds of contact, and the flag comes in. That Pichnenko in coverage. He's trying to do his best to not put his hands on the receiver, but
even if you play perfect coverage, it's worth noting white jerseys and usually white gloves against a red jersey like this. A tug is going to show up so easily to an official, and that's really all they've got to see in order to call the flag with some confidence. So just a tough position for Pichnenko to be in, especially against a really good receiver like Preston White. So it's 1st down and 10 here, Carnegie.
And fighting forward there is Moody.
Grayson Moody with the carry. Tackle on play by Murdoch.
So yeah, and long runs like this really start to wear down the Panthers' defensive line if you're able to get these big, long carries. And we're not even to halftime yet, but this is where the trenches for the Cardinals really starts to dominate and take over when they're able to win at the point of attack consistently. Across the second half of a game really is when we've seen them absolutely dominate.
Another play here for Eudora, this time getting stuffed.
Inside handoff goes to Grayson Moody.
Try to force a turnover or just a field goal attempt. We down?
I don't know. I think we're about to be back up. This is
Flag before the snap.
yeah. I don't know.
False start on Eudora.
Looks like another flag on the Cards, this time offensively. That's where it's been most of the time this season, but in this game there's been a lot more defensive penalties to this point against Eudora.
I think that makes the 3rd pre-snap penalty on the day so far for the Cards, which is a significantly higher mark than the standard they'd set over the last month or so. They'd really done a good job cutting down on those penalties.
They will get to the line here. Hubler is one of the near up back. And now he goes into motion. And Thomas wants to throw here. Hubler is on that side. He will throw for Des Hubler, who brings it in. Hubler's got the 1st down and more. And you know how quick and shifty he is, and he fights down to get around the 10-yard line. Never a bad idea to put the ball in his hands.
No, he's so capable when you put the ball in his hands. And tell you what, this crowd absolutely loves him. Every single time he gets a catch, you can kind of hear the crowd hold their breath here, and they get excited with every cut and every little bit of yardage he's able to pick up. Definitely become a fan favorite out here for the Cardinals faithful in his 2 years on the squad thus far.
He will catch a breather, though, now. Keelan Duncan back in that spot, the near up back. And he goes in motion. But the give is to Mulvihill. I think it was Bryce Mulvihill. Did he have the ball? Or?
I believe Cy kept it.
Oh,
And
Thomas kept it.
He ran over to the right side, still gained a couple of yards. I think he might have gained 3 or 4. Yeah, certainly tricked me.
Yeah, I thought Mulvihill was getting in there to score.
I'm impressed that so much of the Panthers defense kept their eyes on Thomas, because I think most of this crowd was tricked out by it.
4 on that play. Second and goal from the 5.
So the Cardinals still goal to go here on second down. Thomas under center, takes the snap, hands to Keelan Duncan. Keelan Duncan cuts and scores. He's got 6 touchdowns in the 2 games against Paola.
And we're just barely getting close to halftime. He's got plenty of time left to roll. And he looks all kinds of comfortable against this Paola front. He's done really well against it in both far this season. And the Cards starting to open things up a little bit more here, crossing 20 points with 3 to go in the first half.
So Dunback on for another PAT here as the Cardinals score for the 3rd time in this game. And they will only give 3 minutes and 14 seconds to Paola to try and respond. Dunback is up and good. So it is 21-7. We'll take a break.
More time before you wake up in the wild. Our natural world needs us now, step by step.
All right, we're back up. There was a touchback on the kickoff from Caden Dunback. So the Panthers start at the 20-yard line. We will try our best to address things during halftime here with the stream reliability. Apologies about that. But it is 21-7 here, and we will do our best to get you whatever we can. It's going to be a couple of handoffs. So it's going to be the double handoff throw, and it's going to be caught. Are you kidding?
No, it was dropped. It came out of his hands.
The double reverse to Costello, and he couldn't bring it in. Another trick play right away. That seems to be the Panthers' style here, is one trick play to start the drive. And look at this one again. I can't believe he didn't bring that one in. And the fact that that's even being said is crazy, because it was a ridiculous play, and he shouldn't have been able to get his hands to it. They're about to get to their next play. We'll get back to that replay in a second here, as the Panthers are about to do their 2nd and 10 play, and then we will check out that big drop from Costello. 5 wide here. Panthers wanting to test the Cards.
Timeout called by the Panthers.
And they'll call a timeout. Check this play back out here. Costello had to fight back to the ball and just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, that throw went so far downfield. First, really good play design of the moment, and trying to focus on the ball that's in the air for so long is so difficult anyways.
I think that celebration from Hubler might have been a little bit of relief, as well as, just knowing that he did enough to force that incompletion. So it is going to be 2nd and 10 when they're done with the timeout. We'll switch to the hot spot probably. Honestly, let's do that right now. So it'll be 2nd and 10 out of the timeout. The Panthers were 5 wide last time. Will they set up similarly here? They will.
They will. Empty backfield again. Coverage assignments being moved around by the Cards last second.
Wanting to throw. Stein under pressure, gets it off. And pitch that go. Oh, he drops it. Oh, no.
Oh, he should have been gone on that one, too. If he catches that, that is in all likelihood going to the house for Paola.
That is 2 big drops, and that one is a drop. Feels like that's been the way that the Cardinals have got away with a lot of the deep coverage struggles this year. Is just, it's hard to complete those plays downfield. It's hard to have the perfectly accurate throw.
It's happened more than a couple of times this year for the Cards, for sure.
And that's twice in this game. That one, though, was going for a score for sure. We had one with Costello in the first quarter as well that was a drop when he was able to find space over the middle. Will the Panthers continue to try and test the Cardinals deep? They have a running back in the backfield, but no, Stein wants to throw again.
Gotta think they'll try
throws
it.
short, this time to Shea, who is wrapped up in the backfield. Newt Schreiner.
I truly think the best way to attack this Cards defense is by pushing the ball downfield. I think you've got to be aggressive, and they feast on those kind of plays that are a little more conservative. Sure enough, the rally and tackle there, as usual, has been phenomenal. I think you've got to push the ball downfield against them. I think it's the only shot you've got as an offense.
This time the Cards call their second timeout before the 3rd and 10 play, maybe trying to, or 3rd and 14 play, trying to talk things over maybe about the deep coverage, the way they want to attack. It's interesting, they really haven't been at 4th and 14. They really have not been able to pressure Stein very much at all.
No.
It's been 1 or 2 players getting in late, but there really has not been much of a pass rush on him, or at least the effective pass rush.
It seems they've been able to get pressure on him when he leaves the pocket. When he rolls out one way or the other, they'll have somebody trailing him, but you're right, when he stayed in the pocket, he has had time on every single throw to drop back, set his feet, scan the field, and let a good ball go without the pressure of one of these defenders breathing down his neck, which is not a luxury that any other quarterback has gotten this year. This Cards defense is usually all over the passer.
And I think that's another reason that they're continuing to pass, just because the run isn't normally going anywhere, and then sometimes they have, or oftentimes they have enough time to at least develop a passing play and let those deep routes develop. This time they will punt this one away, and it will bounce at the 40 and go out of bounds right there, so the Cardinals will start in plus territory.
And they've got close to 2.5 minutes to go. They've got plenty of time to try to run back and get a score here before half. They could very well open this one up big time in the next couple of drives. Of course, you look at it from the standpoint of deferring on the opening kickoff, which means if they're able to run, say a minute and a half, a minute, maybe 90 seconds of clock, if you're really great, if you're really efficient on this drive, they could score, leave hardly any time for an answer from the Panthers, go into the halftime 28-7, and get the ball to start the second half. That's exactly why coaches like Coach Steffen and most other coaches like to defer. You're able to put yourself in such a dominant position going into halftime if you're able to execute properly.
It was 26-0 at halftime last time that the Cards and Panthers met. Be a different story this time. Thomas all the time to throw, and throws over the head there of his receiver. Brady Von Holten falls incomplete. We were just talking about all the time that Stein has had. Thomas had all day to think about that one, and just a little bit over the head of Von Holten.
Almost looked like he froze in the backfield. Standing in the pocket completely motionless. Didn't have any pressure, had time, but close coverage on Von Holten always makes the throw a little bit tougher and just puts it a little bit over his head on first down.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 40. Cardinals trying to have the last say here in the first half. A give to Moody, going to the left, cuts up now, fighting forward, and gets the first down.
And this is the point in the game where that Cardinals rushing attack really becomes, and you're already down by a couple of touchdowns. You're starting to get in that mindset of, okay, we need to stop them every single drive. We can't let them score anymore.
Right under pressure from Costello, and he's going to get the first. The flag is down. He's still going, and he's going to get near to the end zone and be pushed out at the 1. We'll see what the flag is. That is an unbelievable play by Cy Thomas.
He was tiptoeing down the sideline for minimum 10 yards. Unfortunate feeling this one may come back the other way for the Cards, though.
This is one of the worst performances for the Cards, hurting themselves with penalties all season long. It's been there, but it's there for every football team in any game. This is, just in this first half, quite a few times the Cardinals have been penalized here. And they will get pushed back, and Cy Thomas will have another great play canceled out by a flag.
And I'm looking at some of the notes coming into this game. As we near halftime, the Panthers' average mark for points allowed given up on the season was 24.7, so just shy of 25 points a game is what they usually give up. They're approaching that mark already before half. But I will note, for a little bit of context, Panthers fans watching this know there were some games this year where opponents would score in the 30s and 40s, and then there would be games where opponents would score, 0 points, if not 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
So that certainly levels out the averages quite a bit, but Cardinals certainly having an above-average day offensively against this Panthers defense, according to what they've given up on the season.
And the Cards, of course, scored 46 on them 2 weeks ago.
Cardinals' average points scored is just over 36.
Here's Moody with the carry, and he will be stopped right away there.
Thomas keeps it. Flag down on the play.
They say Thomas kept it. Did Cy Thomas hold on to that one? I thought it was a gift to Moody.
I thought it was Moody.
Either way, there's a flag down.
The
Cardinals get further backed up here. Holding, and on the offense, they will continue to hurt themselves. Coach Steffen couldn't hold his reaction into that one. He was not happy, and why would he be, the way that the Cardinals are hurting themselves right now?
Yeah, you've got to think, if you're a coach looking at this one, this is a game that the Cardinals could be winning by 4 touchdowns right now, if not a fair bit more, instead of 14-point lead. So as a coach, you're always going to look at this kind of game and go, we can't make those mistakes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line against really good state championship caliber teams. They're going to make you pay for it a lot more than the Panthers have tonight.
Well, we have not seen, and there's some trouble with the snap here.
Carnegie may have just gone down.
See, the Panthers think they have it, and they do. That is a really poor drive there by the Cardinals. And with 1:14 left, the Panthers have the ball.
Wouldn't have seen that coming, and with how prolific the Panthers have been at throwing it, it's not out of the question for them to try to get a touchdown on this drive. They could get things close before halftime here.
I noticed
purely
also,
based off the Cards' mistakes.
I was about to mention that this was the first time we've seen the Cardinals switch QBs mid-drive. Thomas began that drive, and Carnegie was in there, and then there was trouble with the snap, and now the Panthers have the ball with 1 timeout and 1:14 to go.
Yeah, we were just mentioning, we won't drive it home too bad, but you can't make those mistakes against good teams at this point in the year. They will make you pay for them almost every time. Now the Panthers try to get back into it themselves.
He's going to look here for Pichnenko, who's in double coverage. Bowser's got his eye on the ball, and it falls incomplete. Cy Thomas may have unintentionally taken that away from his own teammate by trying to make sure Pichnenko didn't bring it in.
I think Sasha Pichnenko started playing defensive back when that ball was coming down too. I think he fully realized that one was probably going to be picked off if he wasn't able to interfere at the catch point a bit.
Bowser was set up way deep. He knew what the Panthers were going to try and do on that play.
You could argue he set himself up for a perfect interception, too.
It looked like the receiver on the other side might have been open here. While the Panthers are in the huddle, we can look back at that one real quick, see what happened here on the coverage.
Yeah, again, Stein looking straight over to that right side where he's been looking a lot of the night. Double coverage, but still a pretty good ball to that spot. Gave Pichnenko a shot at it. Stein going to drop back and try it again.
Here's the 2nd and 10 play under pressure for the first time in a while, and makes a decent throw in the end still. Nice. Ended up bringing him down, or maybe it was Golay in the backfield. He was looking for Murdoch, who scored the touchdown earlier. Considering the pressure that he was under, that was not a bad throw.
No.
But it is now quickly 3rd and 10.
Can't help but feel at this point that Stein has been doing so many rollouts and so many good throws to good spots, and certainly can't say being let down by receivers, because tough catches are always going to be tough, but certainly trying to do his part and putting these balls in a good spot, and he's done it so far.
Well,
Cards defense maybe getting away with a couple.
Part of what hurts with going for the passing attack here, they got the ball with 1:14 left. Now it's 3rd and 10 with only 56 seconds and a stopped clock. They might give too much time back to the Cardinals if they can't find a completion here soon, and now they're going to take their final timeout. That's a precious timeout to use. So with 56 seconds to go, we will go ahead and take a 30-second break.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College. At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College. At Fort Scott Community.
Anyway, back here for 3rd and 10 out of the Panthers' final timeout. So they just have 56 seconds to work with to try and create a score. They've tested the Cardinals deep a couple times, gotten close, but not completed it yet. Stein Schreiner. He's sacked. Newt Schreiner. First time that he's been brought down in the backfield. A big play there. Newt Schreiner sacks the QB.
And we could even take a look back at that one if you wanted to, Reed. He put him in all kinds of trouble. Newt Schreiner blew off the right edge so quickly from distance. There was no blocker near him. Stein didn't even have a chance to get that pass off. And perfect timing, too. No better time to get a good sack other than 3rd down. Now leaves no other choice for the Panthers but to either throw up a Hail Mary or punt this one away with just under a minute to go.
So I think the Cardinals must have called a timeout here.
They did.
That is correct. The clock is stopped. They want to try and give themselves one last chance here, at least a return. Could imagine maybe if the return doesn't go well enough, they just kneel it and let it end. But I imagine they want to try and at least touch the ball one more time, see what they can do with it. It'll be from the 30-yard line. It's been interesting, Hayden. The throws from the Panthers have been so close. The Cardinals have been covering it pretty decently, definitely better than we've seen at times this season and even at times this game. But I don't know. It feels like something is just going barely wrong for them because it feels like the right idea.
Yeah, they've been so close so many times. I think that's a lot of pass games in general at the high school level, is being so close and needing to be so precise.
Punt gets off under pressure. It will roll all the way to Hubler, who will let it go just to make sure he doesn't end up muffing the punt. It's then downed at the 33-yard line. Go ahead, continue that thought.
It feels, you're right, so close yet so far. It feels like an accurate summary of it, because I look at some of those passes and I go, if they've caught 2 of those balls, they could well have 2 touchdowns off of 2 specific catches. And this could be a very close game. It's just been execution in those moments that hasn't been perfect. And sometimes it's been a mix of Stein being under pressure at a bad time or receivers just dropping passes in a good spot. But the pressure of the playoffs is certainly unlike anything that they've seen throughout the whole season. A lot of these players, if they haven't been in bright lights like this as the second round of the playoffs, whole different atmosphere, and it makes it so much tougher to make those plays in big moments.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything they need to necessarily adjust, but feels like it's something where maybe they could come out in the second half and the Panthers could look a lot more dangerous, or the Cardinals could shut them down. If they can put more pressure on the quarterback just like they did with Schreiner getting in the backfield, then they will not have a chance to come back in this game. What can the Cardinals do here with one last touch of the ball before we go to halftime? It's a toss to Preston White, and White, he gets brought down. Is that going to be a horse collar? It will be.
So that's going to be, I believe, a fresh first down. Yeah. Still over 30 seconds on the clock, and that's going to push the Cards right close to midfield.
And the Panthers hurting themselves with the penalty, and that will move the Cardinals downfield and give them something to think about here as they look to try and continue an attack.
So I won't bring it up more than once unless we see them start to try actively to get it. Caden Dunback has a leg on him. He can make kicks from quite a ways out, so if they're able to get to, I'd say maybe the 35-yard line, you could certainly think about trying to kick to get some extra points on the board, if nothing else.
Yeah, I wonder how much the fact that this game's a little bit chilly would affect that. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it certainly could factor in.
And you're the one with kicking experience over me, so you'd be the one to know if, 55 degrees on the field would be that big of a deal.
I know that kicking a cold football does not feel good. It hurts. But that doesn't mean that you can't kick it far.
And by that logic, you may have kind of a boulder of a foot, so
yeah,
maybe help. Looks to be a little bit of a different formation. Maybe Preston White and Hubler lined up as those wing formation protectors as opposed to the usual Mulvihill and Duncan.
Yeah, and last time we saw that, he motioned and then it was a throw to him. But actually, Thomas was looking deeper the whole time. He didn't want to check it down to Hubler, but ended up doing it. And now the Cardinals will re-huddle here. I'm not sure what happened there with the officials. I think they maybe re-spotted or were figuring out where the penalty needed to be.
Possibly. Could be any number of things. The officials will stop and re-coordinate things quite a bit for a number of reasons.
While we're here with a pause in the action, a check-in. Let's see here on the halftime score now from Tonganoxie. The 16-6 was the final, or the halftime score over there.
Toss to Hubler.
Here is Hubler getting the ball again, and Hubler with a head of steam. Hubler still going down the sideline, and he will step out at the 24. That'll stop the clock and give the Cardinals more chance to continue driving here. They really could get a last score in here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, a field goal is 100% easy to attempt if they don't lose yards. But at this point, you've got almost 30 seconds to go. You're not thinking field goal here. You're thinking, let's take a couple shots, maybe run the ball once and see if somebody can break away.
And at least for now, Hubler is staying out there. And if you have guys like Hubler and Cy Thomas on the field, I think that kind of tells you what type of play the Cardinals are looking for. They want to give it to a playmaker, somebody who can get past a couple tacklers.
Of course, keeping the threat of Grayson Moody in behind as well.
It will be a play fake to Moody. Thomas rolls out, now has to get past some pressure. A flag comes in. Thomas still going, will throw it deep towards Otis, and it's incomplete. See what that flag is. It came in the pocket, might be holding on the Cards.
Oh, and that could be devastating as far as field goal range goes. If you're wanting to try to just take your quote-unquote easier 3 points.
Now they've got to get another big gain. Yeah.
Right. At least a significant one. Because I forget what the exact number was that Dunback made earlier in the year. I want to say it was over 40 yards or close to it. Even if you can make that kick, you'd rather not try a kick that's right up against your kicker's max.
Yeah.
You always want to try to make things easier if you can.
It's always interesting to me. There's nothing wrong with it, but the fact that on a play like that, the time never comes back. The time that on a play that doesn't count, all those seconds are just gone. And if Thomas had thrown it away quicker, there would be more, or
it's brutal,
taken more.
Right?
But that's just how it goes. Here is the 1st and 17 now. Thomas again wants to throw, has time, steps to his right, looking downfield, has a lot of time, finds Hubler, Des Hubler. He's going to go to the 10-5 and score! Touchdown, Cardinals! Those two players we called out, the playmakers for the Cards, make a big play, and it's 27-7 before halftime.
Absolutely storybook, Reed. You called those two particular names, Cy Thomas and Des Hubler. You said that is evidently the two playmakers on the roster that they're going to want to take advantage of. And those are the two who make the play for the Cardinals to put them up by 3 touchdowns. Now Dunback going to try to make it an even 28-7 before the halftime break. And the bonus, they left no time for an answer for the Panthers. A mere 3 seconds left on the clock.
Remind me, Hubler's touchdown 2 weeks ago was a punt return, right? Is that correct?
I believe so.
And then last year it was a pick six. This time it's a reception. He has found 3 different ways to score touchdowns against Paola.
The trifecta, all 3 phases.
Yeah, he loves scoring. I guess that's true, all 3 phases. That's awesome. It is 28-7 here. There's 3 seconds left. We can go ahead and keep it here, I guess, before we get that final kick and then head to halftime.
Yeah, you want to talk about a dual threat, or suppose a tri-threat player in that case. That means he has scored, if our memory is correct, he scored against the Panthers in the last 2 years on offense, on defense, and on special teams. No better way to do it.
And he's only a sophomore. He did the pick 6 as a freshman. He is a fantastic playmaker, such a good shifty player, and they should get him on offense more. So right now they get him in there every once in a while. It's probably partially being a sophomore. You want to make sure you're not forcing him in all over the place. But he is just such a great playmaker, and he is someone who's so dangerous. And Cy Thomas as well. How about the way to keep that play alive, set himself, and then complete the pass to his, the guy that you want to get the ball to.
And how about the creativity from Des Hubler, too, to realize that Cy Thomas was still on his feet, find a way to get open close enough that Cy could make that throw easily. Because, you'll see receivers just go downfield. If the quarterback doesn't have time to set his feet, he's not going to be able to get it to him. The fact that he ran about 10 yards upfield gave Cy plenty of room to get that ball off. That's a connection between 2 players that paid off beautifully for 7 points.
They've got Grayson Moody set to take this kickoff instead of Caden Dunback with 3 seconds left here, just trying to make sure they don't allow a touchdown here. He'll kick it short. Maybe could have let that one go out of bounds, but instead will step out of bounds with a couple seconds left, which will be enough to see one more pass you'd expect from the Panthers.
And of course, we haven't seen the execution be good enough for a scoring play yet, or only once for a scoring play. These Panthers, if any team the Cards have faced all year, could score with 1 play. when you know they're going to try to throw, the Panthers would be that team.
Yeah, the Cardinals will set up and prevent defense. You can see they've already got 4 defensive backs out there.
Taller ones, guys with receiving experience too. Preston White,
Thomas
Bowser.
Bowser, White, and Gavin Etter are those.
Hubler out there as well, it appears.
Oh yeah, excuse me, Hubler, not Etter. Will be, well, they're cheating up a little bit here. We thought they were going to be setting up in their own half of the field. But it'll be
maybe just something to change up the play calling for the Panthers.
Yeah, it'll be Bowser and White that are set up deep for the Cards. Maybe the Panthers will just kneel here. That's what it looks like they might be lining up for.
This is where losing that timeout could be big. I really think part of those Cardinals defenders being so far back could have been to discourage a play call trying to go deep, and now they move back forward, and
interesting.
Panthers can't get out of this.
Something must have been wrong with Riley Nice's equipment. He got told by the official, you need to go get a sub.
In which case, Crable looks to be the replacement.
Yep. And all that, we believe, to just go ahead and kneel the ball. That's exactly what will happen. So 28-7 will be our halftime score. It was 26-0 2 weeks ago, so the Panthers making a better representation of themselves, but they do trail by 3 scores. The Cardinals with a late addition to the scoreboard. 28-7, the 1 seed leads here at home. We'll be back with the halftime show after this break.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right, welcome in to the halftime show brought to us by Attic Storage of Eudora. Attic offers climate-controlled units, RV and vehicle storage, plus clean, move-in ready spaces. They're a veteran-owned, community-focused business, and they feature monitored 24/7 access with friendly on-site managers. Rent, reserve, and pay online anytime at attic-storage.com. So 28-7 is our score here. We've got about 12 minutes left in the halftime break. It was an interesting one. I think that this Panthers team is attacking the Cardinals in the way that most other teams should have if they wanted to have a chance to win. There were especially a couple weeks in there. Independence stands out to me as a game where early on the passing game worked well and then the team just completely abandoned it. And we were thinking, man, bring that back. You had the Cardinals, like you beat them for a second and then you just gave up on it. The Panthers are sticking to it. And it's obviously imperfect for them. I mean, if it were better for them, they would be an even better team. They are a solid team, 5-4 on the year. But I don't know. It's interesting. It feels like there's something close for them. But meanwhile, we've been talking about that mostly. The Cardinals have scored 4 touchdowns here in this game. They are who they are who they've been this season. They are performing really well, aside from the penalties. I'll just throw it to you, Hayden, to talk about that first half.
Yeah, I think on that ending note, that's part of what makes a really good team is, despite the things that your opponent may be doing well or may be focusing on, just continuing to play like yourself, continuing to play to the things you've been proficient at all year long. That's exactly what the Cards are doing here. Of course, they're getting thrown on more than they have throughout the rest of the year, and it's been working, I'd say, better than most other teams have done it, even though they haven't gotten a ton of completions. Stein has threatened big plays downfield all day long so far, and I love the fact that despite the fact that Paola seems to be really strong at that threat, the Cardinals haven't blinked. They've said, we're going to continue to run the ball. We're going to continue to play good defense. We're going to continue to play that bend, don't break style, where if we give up a deep completion, we're just going to take a deep breath and get right back to it. They haven't melted down in the face of that challenge, which I think is the mark of why they've been so strong all year long. Even with a 3-score lead going into the half, they've had all kinds of stuff they could clean up. Primarily, as you mentioned, pre-snap penalties have kind of reared their ugly head in a sense that we hadn't seen in probably a month. I don't know, it'd been quite a while since we had seen this many penalties from the Cards, and I think it's exemplified that much more by the fact that a couple of them happened in big moments. Big carries from Cy Thomas, I believe, was brought back by a penalty. You had a big run from maybe Grayson Moody that came back.
It was his interception return, too, Cy Thomas.
That's right, yeah. I mean, all kinds of situations tonight where you get all excited, you go, oh, they got a big play, and you see a flag go, and you almost know instinctively it's going to go back. That's been a big point of emphasis, but overall, like you said, we talk so positive about the Panthers, so kind of nitpicking things the Cards have done.
Yeah,
they're
exactly
still
right.
up 28-7, right?
Yeah.
I think part of that's you and I's standard this year. We just are kind of keen to the things they're not doing super well because they've done everything else so perfectly. But the Panthers certainly could be dangerous going into the second half. I think but you could also look at it the other way and go, well, if the Cardinals clean up the things they've been kind of messy at, they could be leading by even more. They could be in the 40s at this point as far as their score goes. So it's seemed fairly one-sided as far as the scoreboard goes, but Paola definitely not out of this one, but they've got a lot of stuff to clean up.
Yeah, Moody has 2 touchdowns, Duncan has 1, and Dez Kugler also got into the end zone for the Cards. They are having a good performance. They absolutely are. Cy Thomas is making big plays, and they've looked dangerous even through the air a couple times. I think that's something they could continue to go back to a little bit, but they definitely don't need to. The run game is this team's identity, and it has worked really, really well for them. But yeah, you're right. We've been holding the Cardinals to a much higher standard than the Panthers, and we're looking for this to be a close game, a good competition. And for a second there this was 14-7 with a few minutes to go before halftime, but now it's 28-7, and the Cardinals might be able to really just pull away and put this out of reach for the Panthers, which in the end is what was expected. But I don't know. We were kind of looking for the Panthers to try and make this more of a game, and it feels like they could. They're testing the Cardinals, and you know what? Maybe even if it doesn't work out for them, this could be something that gets put on film. Where going forward, maybe it messes up. Maybe it could affect the way that the Cardinals playoffs games go in the future. But they've also picked off the quarterback twice. It's not just as simple as drops, right? There are they have picked off. Klobes had the interception, and Cy Thomas had the interception. There's also been some good coverage by Hubler and Bowser and Klobes all over the place. So the Cardinals have been very effective. The biggest surprise has been the lack of pressure on the quarterback. They cannot get into the backfield, aside from Newt Schreiner, who did get in there and get 1 sack. That is something we might see more of from the Cardinals in the second half. But we will go ahead and take a break here on our halftime show. Keep it here for more Cardinals football.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, service.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Hey, I'm Mike Grope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds Band or Theater Department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, back here on the halftime show. We got about 3 minutes before the second half, probably going to be more like 6 minutes, actually. Interestingly, the Paola special teams units out here practicing kicks out on the right side of the field. Maybe something they want to try and focus on in the second half, see if they can get some extra points on the board. But looking at, we can take a look around the league here. But Hayden, what do you think what do you think for the second half? What do you think we might see?
As far as what I think we'll actually see, I think Paola's going to try to throw it a little bit more. I think we're going to see even more pressure from the Cards defense on those pass attempts because I think they know it's coming now. That defensive line pass rush is going to be able to pin their ears back a little bit more and go get the passer. I think Paola's going to try it a lot more. They may get one or two of those deep completions before it kind of gets stifled out. I think the Cards are not going to throw the ball a lot in the second half. I would expect almost entirely ground game work, a lot of Keelan Duncan, a lot of Grayson Moody. Cy Thomas on the ground will be effective as well because they've got the luxury now up 3 touchdowns and getting the ball. They don't need to try anything super aggressive. They don't need to try to push the ball downfield with any kind of extreme, high pressure attempts. They're able to kind of just let this thing ride out, run the ball, get first downs, move the chains, do what they've done all year long, and they'll very well walk away with a regional matchup win here, which is, again, something they've done all year long. Being able to come into playoff games and not have to change how you play, so vital to a good team that can go a long ways.
Well, Bishop Miege just got into the end zone again. It is 23-6 now. They lead Tonganoxie. So as things stand, if both teams that are leading win, it would be the Cardinals and Bishop Miege next week. And then looking at Spring Hill side of things, they are trailing to the 6th seed St. James Academy as they are the 3 seed Spring Hill Broncos. It is 14-26. St. James Academy lead. So a couple upsets in the works maybe across the Frontier League in the postseason. And you can check out those games across the different channels on the Varsity Sports Live network. But yeah, the Cardinals right now, of those 3 teams, the only team leading the game they're supposed to. In terms of seeding, it's actually a closer one than the matchup on the other side of this regional bracket, the 5v13. I guess that's, one more gap
and the
between
3v6.
The 1 and the 8. Yeah, it's a, anyway, some different interesting things playing out across different channels here.
Wow.
And we will keep you updated on that action. The Tonganoxie game more relevant to the Cards because that's what will be played next week. But yeah, the St. James Academy Thunder leading the Spring Hill Broncos as well, 26-14. We'll go ahead and what you got, Hayden?
I was just going to say, you always want to see Frontier League teams do well. Of course, we beat them and they're opponents of ours, but it would always be cool to see some teams that you play throughout the year make it far.
The Chanute-Lewisburg ending last week. Oh my word.
Goodness.
That was unbelievable.
We were packing up, losing our minds.
Yeah, if you have 5 to 10 minutes, just go and scrub to the end of the live stream of that one and see the way that game ended. Chanute ended up, I don't know. I don't even know what I should tell you.
Yeah.
Just go check it out.
I believe that was Drake Miller and co over on that call. That was an awesome game over there. Make sure you go check that one out.
Well, they will probably end up throwing 3 more minutes on the clock here before second half. So we will go to one last break here, and when we're back, it should be time for the second half.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
It is Preston White and Des Hubler back deep to return for the Cards. And Des Hubler was the one that scored with 3 seconds left in that first half to make it 28-7. Cardinals with a good lead here and a chance to make it even more as they will get the first drive of the third quarter. The kick will come from the freshman kicker, Tate Trashel. He kicks this one off. They got to turn off the music here. This one lands at the 20.
Or maybe run the music.
Yeah,
Why
just
not?
keep it going. And it'll be stopped at the 25-yard line where the Cardinals will begin their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and we mentioned coming into this one, Reed, that you could see a couple of different things coming out for the Cardinals. You never completely know what the strategy will look like, but we've got a pretty good idea of what the strategy is going to look like. This is going to be a very run-centric approach, as per usual, really, but especially when you give yourself a big lead and get the ball coming out of the halftime break, you've got all the freedom you wanted to see. Team captain Cage Crable getting real hyped up, heading up to the line. I would expect a very run-heavy start to the drive here for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I think Coach Steffen would like it to be a much more disciplined half from the Cards. The Cards will try and play within themselves, which means giving the ball to Grayson Moody just like this, as he will go to the 30-yard line. I think the Cardinals will try and be exactly who they are and nothing else, and the Panthers will kind of try and be somebody else than what they are. But I mean, that is the tricky team that they are, which is their identity. But I mean, they're trying to
cleaner version of their best self.
Try and fake out the Cardinals, trick them, and get downfield. And that was, I don't know if they can do more than just one. They certainly could. But each drive, they just did one trick play and then tried to play standard football from then on, and it was not working for them. But the Cardinals here are likely to just keep running the ball down the Panthers' throat.
More pre-snap penalties there, it looks like.
And it is false start against the Cards. I guess you should get them all out now.
Suppose so, but no, really. But if you're going to have them, you may as well have them early, I suppose. Coach Steffen is just going to say, don't commit the penalty.
That's too high of a standard. Sorry, Coach. Best I can do is a false start right now.
Best I can do is one early on.
And Carnegie will hand this one off.
Panthers doing well against Moody early on here.
Yep.
They've limited him to a gain of 3 or 4 and then a gain of nothing on his 2 carries thus far, which is a good job as a defense at forcing the Cardinals to try something they're not as comfortable with, something that you got to think probably wasn't in the scripted first few plays of this possession.
And so much of that is really the battle in the trenches more than Moody. He's also capable of breaking free, but it's about those blocks, and generally the Cardinals' O-line is really strong, but sometimes there can be some breakdowns. This time it'll be a handoff to Mulvihill to the outside, and he's not going to go anywhere either. The Panthers look like they've probably forced a 3-and-out here.
Yeah, they've done a really good job, and I think as far as getting back into the game and trying to push themselves back towards tying this thing up, making a game out of it, that's what they have to do. They have to have drives like that on defense, possessions like that, where they're able to almost immediately limit the progress you can get as an offense and get the ball back quick. They're going to do just that. Cards are going to run just over 2 minutes of time here off the clock, and then Panthers are going to get it back with an opportunity to get within 2 scores.
So the punt will come from Dunback, and it is a very nice punt. It will bounce at the 36, but it'll take a Panthers bounce there. So Duncan will try and stop it as quick as possible. But that was a very nice kick from Dunback. Panthers will start on their own side of the field.
Yeah, we know how prolific they've been at being able to push the ball down the field. You may have a slightly better memory on it than I do, but going back to that first half, I can think of at least 2 passes where if they were completed, and they very well both could have been, the Panthers could have scored minimum 1 more touchdown in that first half, if not 2 or 3. So it's certainly still a dangerous team. It's going to come down to 2 things the way I see it. Perfect execution on defense and much improved execution on offense. The ideas have been right. It's just a matter of making the plays in those moments instead of coming away with what-ifs.
There's also the factor of penalties. Let's see what the Panthers can do here. Their first drive of the second half. They want to throw as they've done all game. This one's going to come up a little bit short towards Pichnenko, who brings it in.
There you go. Just starting to get that ball rolling. They immediately flip the field, put themselves deep into Cardinals territory.
You've mentioned the fact that sometimes the underthrow is actually better on plays like that. It's a very weird truth of the way that things play out, but that was a bit of an underthrow to Pichnenko, and he's able to get back to the ball and bring it in.
I mean, you can dislike it all you want, but as a player on the field, you just got to take advantage of it, and Pichnenko does a perfect job of it, boxes out the DB, and comes down with a huge catch.
They will again set up 4 wide. Shea in the backfield, wanting to throw towards the right side. It's picked! Intercepted! Is this Des Hubler?
It is.
No, it's not. It's not Hubler.
Cy
Gonna
Thomas.
go all the way and scores. Cy Thomas with the touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. What a way to completely blow open this second half.
I think that it is fully time to just focus on this Cardinals performance. It has been fantastic, and they are winning as they are expected to. But Cy Thomas going all the way there. What was that, 60 or 70 yards to score and make it 34-7.
I think it was about 65 from where he took the
His
got the ball.
pick, by the way.
Well, and I think the most incredible part of that is the ball was open. The throw initially when Stein dropped back, he had his man on the out route. Cy Thomas just planted his foot and exploded towards that spot to beat the receiver there, and he did a beautiful job of it. Cards are in domination mode here.
And Dunback puts it up and through. Let's take a look back at that one here, Hayden. We'll have to start out on the return. It was such a long play.
Yeah, I mean, it really was just a simple out route to the right side where Stein dropped back, took a look, immediately knew where he wanted to go with the ball. And earlier on, even in the first half, we saw him kind of sidearm a throw and be able to get it to a spot on the far side of the field with effectiveness. And he tried it there.
Such a big return there. The replay can't even capture the whole play.
I think Cy truly was just backed off, keeping his eyes on Stein. And as soon as he saw Stein hit the top of his drop and plant that foot, he just made a beeline for where the ball was going to be. And part of that comes down to instinct as a player. The other part, explosiveness. Not many players could cover that much ground that quickly to get to that spot. And that may have been the biggest play of the entire night for Cy Thomas, for the whole team by far.
Yeah, the Cardinals have done a fantastic job in this game, and that is a really good way after being forced to 3 and out on offense to then score a defensive touchdown and make it 35-7. That's going to feel like a really big blow to the Panthers. They must have had the mindset they needed to try and be the first one to score, especially after forcing the 3 and out, and to have that play out that way. I expect them to continue passing the ball, but I think that the Cardinals are going to feel pretty comfortable with that at this point.
Well, I can tell you the atmosphere here, especially on the Paola side. That felt backbreaking. That was the most quiet that I've heard this Paola side get all night long. I mean, that was all the pressure was mounting. Felt like they were doing everything right, but it feels like in the second half they knew their margin for error was thin. That felt very much so like a backbreaking play for them.
The kickoff from Dunback, a low-driven one that will be a touchback. I mean, this is a great opportunity now to get reps. It's something that the Cardinals have struggled in, and I don't know, will be interesting to see going forward if that deep ball, if that's truly something that they're comfortable with now, or if it's just the Panthers struggling to execute. But no matter what, the Cardinals have not faced a passing offense this season, and so this is a chance to get comfortable with that as they go on into the playoffs. The better teams you face, the more likely that they will at least be able to do both and maybe even focus on the passing game. And so that is something they should get comfortable with. And they've got 3 picks right now, so I think they're feeling pretty good.
Well, and I think focusing on the pass rush is a big aspect of it, too. Because you don't want to purely rely on your secondary to hold up if your pass rush can't get home. So it's going to be a 2-sided coin to stopping the pass for sure.
They will run with Shea, though, on the toss here. And he will be brought down after a pickup of about 6. Leland Bradshaw was in on the tackle, and now Neo Allison will go and take his place.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible to me, Reed. We talked so much coming in about how we didn't expect this to go anywhere near the same way that first matchup a couple of weeks ago did. I don't think it's been the same kind of game, but based on the scoreboard, it's actually looking pretty close.
I knew that it could happen. I was just expecting the energy from Paola to be a little different from just knowing the playoff game. And I think that it honestly has been. The effort level has been different, but the result has not. The Cardinals are a much better football team. And they will get in on the stop there. I think they might give forward progress and the first down. Looks like they will. Preston White was in on the tackle.
Love seeing Preston White in on defense.
Yep.
Didn't see a lot of it in the first half aside from that kind of Hail Mary attempt at the end that ended up not happening. Yeah, I think the energy has been different. You're right. They did come in here a little more passionate, a little bit more fired up, and looked a little more dangerous than they did in the first match. I think the Cardinals, as you said, at some point you have to just go players for players, and this Cards team is so talented, so efficient, so calculated that only the best of the best teams in the state, you got to think, are the ones who are going to be able to truly push them around.
They set up here, and this will be another give. Maybe they are going to pivot away from the passing game. A flag comes in. It was Hinston with the carry.
Back down on the play. Runner on the stop for the Cardinals.
Going to be a chop block on Paola. So that will move them backwards. I think at this point, I mean, especially if you're going to go down swinging, it's the end of the season. There's nothing to reserve it for. I'd love to
just start throwing.
Throw out the book, the trick plays especially. That's what I want to see, because they've got some great ones in there in the book.
We know they do. We've already seen a couple of them. They've all worked pretty well. So got to imagine any more you've got sitting in the playbook, throw them out at this point. Why not?
But you do know, because Stefan mentioned it, and also it's nothing new from Paola, that the Cardinals are privy to the idea of the trick play, but it is still hard to keep an eye on the ball if they are literally making it hard to keep an eye on the ball. It's going to be 1st and 25 after that penalty. They have been backed up into the dread zone by it as well. They will look to throw on the play action under pressure, and incomplete, nearly picked again. And a flag comes in. Oh, wow. Stefan is not happy with that one.
I mean, it's always going to be tough for an official, when there's that many players right at the point of contact, but seems it's going to go against Hubler. He's not happy about it at all.
I thought it maybe have been Bowser.
Play action handoff there. He had just a little bit of time. Lets it fly. Receiver had to come back to it to prevent the interception. I think there would have been.
Because you're saying that Hubler might have tripped him on the ground, I guess?
I see. I say Hubler was already down. The only real contact was initiated by Paola's receiver coming forward to get the ball.
Yeah, they do call it PI on Hubler. I don't think it was intentional, but that doesn't change the fact that it is a penalty. If that is what they're calling, the fact that he tripped the receiver, I mean,
that could be accurate by the book, for sure. Crowd's not going to like it, but
it's interesting because an entanglement of legs does not get called as pass interference, even though that is because it's accidental.
You are interfering with the pass.
But that one, I don't know.
Certainly not a phantom call. Point being,
turns a 1st and 25 into a 2nd and 10.
And they do look to be throwing it more.
And they look for Pichnenko, who had space there, and it was underthrown.
Ball took a dirt sample before it could get to him. But I do like seeing him throw the ball more. We know this is where they're stronger at. I love to see the dropbacks coming instead of running the ball into this Cardinals front that is basically a brick wall at this point. I feel confident calling it that. It's 4 bricks on the line of scrimmage for the Cardinals.
Something that would be interesting is just getting it to Pichnenko anyway, either handing it to him or a jet sweep type thing. He's so dangerous with the ball. Why make him work so hard for it? But we'll see how they want to continue things here. Pichnenko likely playing his last game here.
Pressure coming.
And they will look for him, and he's going to bring it in for the first. On 3rd and 10, Pichnenko moves the chains.
And a beautiful pass there from Stein, too. He had all kinds of pressure coming. Cards had 3 or 4 additional players creeping around near the line. I believe 2 of them ended up rushing. Certainly didn't give Stein a lot of time to throw at all, and he does a really good job to put it on target for Pichenenko. You said likely in his last game as a Panther wanted to make the most of it, which we've seen his capability all year long.
He is a guy that will play at the next level, hasn't found his home there yet, but he is looking around. And this is a throw towards him again in double coverage, and Bowser is able to force the incompletion.
Oh, and once again, you could tell Sasha Pichenenko kind of had to play DB to prevent that one from being picked off by Bowser. It's the second time today Bowser's are debatably lost an interception purely by Pichenenko's defensive efforts. And yet again brings up later downs on long yardage. This is only second down, but it's the tough thing about incompletions when you focus so much on throwing the ball. Of course, they have to at this point, but it means you're not making any progress unless you get those deeper completions, as opposed to the run game or short pass game where you just chip away yard by yard.
And a timeout going to be called here. Give us a second to look at those playoff games we mentioned. It is 30-6 for Bishop Miege over Tonganoxie.
Wow.
So it looks like the outcome of that one might be determined, though it is only the third quarter at this point. And looking at the Spring Hill game, it is still 26-14 to St. James with under 5 minutes to go in that one. So the Broncos have a couple possession deficit to make up in that game. Cards over here in the third quarter, trying to efficiently recreate that victory from a couple weeks ago. Something with the passing game is it makes the game go a lot slower. A lot of time with the clock still.
Yep. Yeah, as opposed to the last couple weeks where you and I are used to being close to out of here at this point. It's still going to run a little ways, but of course Paola going to do everything they can to extend this game, try to give themselves every opportunity to get back into it, as you should expect.
Honestly, I'd like to see Pichenenko maybe try and get a score. I think that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
For his last game. I think that he certainly deserves it. He's a great player, but Cardinals have no interest in any sentimental value for their opponent. They will be double covering Pichenenko. They will be smacking the ball to the ground. They do not want him to score.
If he scores, it is going to be by no lack of effort. He is going to have to work with everything he's got to get a score tonight.
No Make-A-Wish plays going on here.
No, none at all.
Out of the timeout, 2nd and 10 at the 42 with 6.5 to go. Empty. No, there is a backer alongside Stein, 4 wide. And a high snap, and he brings it in, but he's going to be brought down immediately. That was pouncing on that one was Braden Marks.
So that's going to bring up 3rd down and a mile for the Panthers here. They've now got a long ways to go to get this first down. I don't think it changes all that much from a play calling standpoint. They were going to try to throw it deep downfield regardless. But as I said, that pass rush is starting to climb home a little bit. We expected them to as the game went on. They're starting to get a little bit better.
A second sack of the game for the Cardinals defense.
And they got home quick enough there, I think. Even if that snap was clean, Stein was going to have all kinds of pressure on him.
Here is the 3rd and 14.
More coming.
Rolling out, throws and caught, and it's going to be really close to the line to gain. Hubler pushes him out.
I believe he got it.
Could be 4th and inches or a first down.
I think that was Murdoch with the catch.
They're bringing out the 4th down marker, so it will be 4th and short.
I would be trying to get that measured again if I was on the Paola side, but they have it marked significantly short. Timeout is going to be taken by the Cards here.
They actually marked him pretty short there. He must have stepped out earlier than it looked.
Right.
Cards now call their first timeout. We'll go ahead and take a break with them.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Your home for live local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tongalachi!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
All right, back here for the 4th down play. They're going for it right at midfield. Will they run the ball here or stick to their guns and try and throw it even though it's a short downage to go? Pichnenko is the near receiver, 4 wide. They will try and run the ball forward, and he's going to be stuffed. He's going to be stopped.
Wow.
Was it Riley Nyson on that one? I think it was. They gave it to Easton Hensley, and he couldn't go anywhere.
Wow. Nice and Brock Long look to be the 2 players right there at the point to keep it back. Marks is amped up as can be over on this left side. Wow. This Cardinals defense is unbelievably stout this year. Nobody's been able to move an inch on those short yardage downs on them.
A turnover on downs right at midfield, and a really impressive one. Only a yard to go there, and they could not get it.
Actually lost yardage.
Yeah, Cardinals could really try and put this one out of reach at this point. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here for this one. This broadcast brought to you by Kansas Insurance. Kansas Insurance believes in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how they can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600. Proudly bringing Eudora Sports live to Cardinals fans everywhere. Here's a run up the middle here with Duncan. He's still on his feet. A flag is down. Keelan Duncan's still going. And he's going to be brought down around the 23-yard line.
Oh, no. Looks like this one might be in danger of coming back again, though. Wait and see. No indication it's against the Cards yet, but they are starting to walk back.
And holding on the offense. Cardinals continue to hurt themselves and see more big plays taken away. So they will have to make another big play like that again.
Goodness, and Keelan Duncan probably should have gone down about 5 yards into that run, but he shifted out to his right side and broke completely loose.
So it'll be, let's see, 1st and 15 now. No, 1st and 20. So more work to do for the Cards here on this drive. But they will feel good about the work they've done thus far in the game. It's almost a bit of a surprise. I suppose it's partially due to how much game time there is left. But they've still got the starters in there. Maybe one more score would make them feel comfortable enough to change that. Here's Duncan again. Keelan Duncan.
He wants to get it right back.
The man that loves to score against Paola. Maybe he can do it again. He's still going to go. And he's going to score. Are you kidding?
Wow. That man has no ounce of quit in him. Not
if you're
a bit.
counting, that's 7 touchdowns in 2 games against Paola for Keelan Duncan.
Man, oh
He's
man.
got a hat trick tonight.
Oh my goodness. And not to mention, he's the guy who had the big run that they lost the yardage on with the penalty. He said, I'll get it right back. And then some.
How in the world did he stay up in bounds and score?
Keep in mind, by the way, this is the number 2 running back for the Cardinals on the depth chart.
Right.
Wow. Unbelievable stuff. Now Dunback for the PAT. Puts it up, and it goes true. That one is good.
Take a look back at this angry run from Duncan.
Just clean. He wasn't touched in the backfield. Got 1 or 2 good blocks. Set it up. Gets the blocker on the 35-yard line from Preston White. From there, he's got to hold off 3 Panthers defenders on his own. A stiff arm, and he was even hit at the 5-yard line.
In the world?
Manages to stay straight on his feet even still. That should not be possible. That angle at that spot, he should not have been able to get to the pylon.
That is a ridiculous run from Keelan Duncan, and he loves a score against Paola. It is 42-7. We'll take a break.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage With high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
So after the Keelan Duncan angry run to get his 3rd touchdown tonight, a 5th from Cardinals running backs, it is 42-7. Kick deep here from Dunback. It'll be another touchback. If the Cardinals get the ball back on offense with the score here, do we still see starters?
I don't think so. It's possible. You would have no problem with them doing that.
We're seeing defensive starters going out there right now, so sort of indication. But I bet it largely depends on how much time is left at this point, more than the score.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can't stop thinking back to myself in my mind of how much more competitive the Panthers looked through this first half than they did a couple of weeks ago. And the fact that it looks entirely possible that the score could be even more of a discrepancy than it was in that first matchup. Really speaks to how well the Cards have showed up tonight, even though the Panthers absolutely came to play.
Yeah, they're prepared for this matchup, a second matchup with Paola. They were maybe thinking they would be preparing for a second matchup with Tonganoxie, but that is looking less and less likely as time goes on. It's 30-6 in the 4th quarter.
They did just get a 4th down stop, but so many points left needed to be scored with so little time.
And when it was announced that Bishop Miege were leading that game from the PA here, I actually heard a few groans from the crowd. They were like, we don't want to, not Bishop Miege, man.
Not Bishop.
Give us
so many card seasons have ended at the hands of Bishop Miege across sports.
They'd rather the technically less favorable matchup take on another battle of 2-12, but it looks like it will be Miege coming here. The Stags. It is 2nd and 10 here, and flags come in. This will be against the Panthers.
It looks like, even though it was against Paola, Braden Marks was visibly frustrated that it got called back because he was flying into the backfield. He's going, man, I could have gotten a highlight-worthy play right there.
So they get backed up inside the dread zone. Is it 40 for the running clock, or is it 50?
It is 40, if I recall correctly.
40. So we could see that if the Cardinals maybe make a defensive stop here or a defensive big play. Stein wants to throw under pressure from Bradshaw. It's a wobbler. It's picked by Hubler. Des Hubler has the ball. What's he going to do with it? Could he get another pick six against Paola?
There he is!
The 2nd of his career. And the 2nd touchdown tonight. Oh, no, there are flags down. And let's see, actually, did they mark him short?
He didn't touch the pylon. I thought he got past it before he stepped out.
It was an amazing return, but will it count? And also, did he score? All of these questions and more will be answered soon. Zoom in on the white hat here. See what he's got. So we got holding on the Cards. So it should still be a Eudora football, or no, a personal foul.
They may have just said it negates the touchdown score.
PA said negates the interception. I don't know if they, so that would mean the personal foul would have to be before the pick. We'll see where the ball gets spotted here. But it will not be a pick six for Hubler. It was an interception for him. He was, and that's all. Yeah, the credit. A lot of credit goes to Leland Bradshaw for hitting Stein as he threw.
Yeah,
forcing that wobbling pass.
Gave Hubler plenty of time to get under it and go get it. As was mentioned here a little bit, a rainbow of a pass. Just goes straight up and gives all those defenders so much time to plant their foot and get underneath it. Oh, and this crowd is as delighted as I've seen them all year.
Is that some sarcasm that I sense there, Hayden?
No, not a bit.
So it would appear that the Panthers are maintaining the ball. So that would, I assume that means that penalty had to happen before the pick. I don't think that there's any penalty that would take away an interception.
It would have had to be pre-snap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or at least pre-pick.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know what could have happened there, honestly. Oh, could have been roughing. That's true. Maybe they say that Bradshaw, I don't know if it was a full weight situation. I don't know. That's just speculation. That certainly could be the call.
That would fit all the criteria, too.
Yeah.
Would have happened during the play, but before the interception.
Yep. So that...
Man, unfortunate.
Yeah, whatever the penalty call is, if that is it, the Panthers maintain the ball here, and they will hand this one off to Murdoch, who's brought down by Schreiner.
And I was just going to mention a little while ago, on the topic of players on this Cards defense, as dominant as they are, the offense for the Cardinals is very, very young. Most of the players on this Cards offense will be here for a year, if not years to come. But on the defensive side, Braden Marks is a senior on the defensive line, along with Ethan Winton, Cage Crable, and Leland Bradshaw, along with Colton Bowser in the secondary, are all seniors. Newt Schreiner in year 11. So this is Cards defense certainly still going to have a lot of stars, but a lot of these guys trying to make a state title in their final season in Cardinals colors.
Rolling out, Schreiner chasing him down. He gets the throwaway, though, and it's incomplete over the head of Pichnenko in double coverage.
Poor Sasha Pichnenko is wanting his touchdown so badly, and the Cardinals are refusing to give him a single coverage snap. He's just been looking for a one-on-one all night long, and the Cardinals have refused to give it to him.
So that will make it 3rd and 12 now. Hubler is the corner on the near side. Bowser the deep safety. Stein, under immediate pressure, gets the throw off somehow, and it falls incomplete in the area of Costello.
What an arm from Stein, by the way. Off platform, he's able to kind of just send a flick of the wrist up and send the ball close to 40 yards.
Yeah, he was doing that because the pressure got to him immediately. I think it was Marks and Schreiner just immediately blew up the line. And they will set up to punt it away here. Des Hubler will be the return man. Still 3.5 to go here in the third quarter. There's actually quite a bit, at least of time left, depending how much football is left to be played. Matters for if the Cardinals will make the, and a flag will come in on the punt now.
Every possible way this game could be slowed down. It is being slowed down tonight. Cardinals faithful celebrating the call.
I think it's because it's the false start, not against them this time. Or delay of game even. St. James have defeated the Spring Hill Broncos. Their season ends to the 6th seed Thunder. 26-14 is the final score there.
Wow.
And here this punt will be a high one for once. It bounces right at the 50, but did not bounce to Hubler. He wanted it to. He was ready. But it will be downed, I think, just inside Paola territory.
And now that I think about it, Reed, you mentioned time being likely a bigger issue than score as for when Cardinals starters will move out of the form here. If we're correct, I believe, based off of last week, a 40-point advantage after the second half would be a running clock. That would be constituted if the Cardinals score one more time. So you keep starters in by that philosophy. If you get one more touchdown, you're able to pull them, clock runs, and they're able to minimize the risk of injury for players and all the things of that sort and get out of here as soon as they can.
Yep, Carnegie Moody out there along with, looks like most or all of the starters for the Cardinals.
Yep.
Right at the 49 where it will be handed off to Moody. If you are just joining us in from that Spring Hill game, thank you for coming over here. You can see the score 42-7 for the Cards. We've got 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It has been a solid performance. The Panthers made it interesting. I think it was 14-7 at the end of the first quarter there, but it has been the Cardinals just continuing to pile it on here. They have struggled a little bit with penalties, but obviously not struggled enough to actually stop them from having a very effective day. It has mainly been Keelan Duncan doing the scoring. He's got 3 touchdowns for the Cards, trying to maybe even match. Could you imagine putting up 4 touchdowns against the same opponent twice in a season? It was only 2 weeks ago that he scored 4 touchdowns against Paola. But the Cardinals, man, these penalties have been a real problem. They are lucky that this is a game where those type of things don't matter, but they have got to make sure that is cleaned as they go on in the playoffs.
I mean, they beat Tonganoxie, the Cardinals did, by 4 points about a month ago. Bishop Miege beat them by multiple touchdowns, close to 30 points tonight. If the Cardinals do this against the Bishop Miege that showed up tonight against Tonganoxie, they would be making you pay for those mistakes in a much more devastating way than the Panthers have tonight. So that's going to be the biggest point of emphasis for Coach Steffen during the week, if I had to guess.
Be a toss to Moody. He's got a score already tonight. He will fight forward for 4.
On the play, Moody with the carry. Paola's Landon Murdoch.
Well, thank all the Paola crowd for showing up tonight, too. The section over on the Paola side is pretty full tonight. They certainly made the trip up here in a big way to support their Paola Panthers in what is shaping up to possibly be their final game of the season.
I think we can say it is at this point. I think it's fine to say it. and I think that they knew that it was very likely to be, and that's a reason why they wanted to show up. But they also knew that they could maybe have tried to play the upset here for the Cards. Is Carnegie going to roll back and throw and find Mulvihill, who drops that one?
I think that was maybe a conscious drop.
That'll make it 4th down.
4th and 6 for the Cardinals. Eudora runs on the punt team.
So the punt team will come out for the Cards, starting offense. Unable to get a score, which is, of course, not ideal.
But they will likely get to pin them deep here with this done-back punt.
Get to let the starting defense go out and try to do work once again.
I don't know if we've seen much of what's called spot punting, where you pick somewhere and aim right there. You'd love to see him coffin corner it. Aim for the aim just in front of the deep pylon here. He absolutely could. He has the ability. He's a good kicker of the ball, and he might try and stick this one towards the corner. No, it's more middle of the way, but it's going to roll and be down inside the 5. He doesn't need the coffin corner. He can do it by just putting a lot of finesse on that one. A beautiful punt. Down by Preston White at the 3-yard line.
Speaking of, you see that beautiful punt last night? Thursday Night Football, there was a punt that went out right at the 1. Very similar
I also
fashion.
saw all of the ugly punts. It was horrible.
There were a lot of punts last night. there were quite a lot of punts.
Well, we've got a minute to go here in this third quarter. This game taking its sweet, sweet time. By the way, the Tonga game is not done. Don't write them off.
It is not over.
It was the Spring Hill game that ended it, but it is 30-6 over there with 6.5 to go.
About halfway through the fourth quarter.
Yes, it is certainly looking like the Cards will find themselves matched up with the Stags, a very familiar opponent. This is a real chance for the Cardinals to do something and keep Stein uncomfortable.
Oh, how about a defensive score? How incredible would that be right now? This place would light on fire.
They have struggled to get to the QB, but as of late, they've been getting a little more pressure. And they're going to get to the backfield here and bring the back down. I think he was in the backfield, maybe picked up 1.
Yeah, I think he may have fallen forward just enough to get back to the line of scrimmage, but certainly not a lot of progress made there. And we are going to get at least one more snap before the end of the third quarter here, just based on the play clock. Man, and this is one of those moments where that Cardinals pass rush can really try to make their impact known, make their presence felt here in the back of the end zone. It'd be a big moment for them if they could.
Motion man toss to the right side, and he's going to be stuffed, I think, at the 1 yard line. So now this will be 3rd and long, and even the offensive lineman will be standing in the end zone. That means they can't hold at all.
At this point, the Cardinals are trying to force a safety, and the Panthers are just trying to make an easier punt. You're just trying to get enough yards to give yourself a little bit of breathing room, and even then the punter is going to be standing up against the back of the end zone.
And that end zone will be the one on the other side of the field because the 3rd quarter comes to an end. We'll be back after a break.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, 4th quarter action here. It'll be 3rd and 12. The Panthers backed up to their own 1 yard line. The Cardinals defense trying to get into the end zone again. They've already done it. There was a Cy Thomas pick 6. That they could maybe force a safety or a fumble getting there. Even a penalty in the end zone at this point would give the Cardinals a couple points and the ball back. And I think that at this point, everyone here would not mind seeing them enforce the running clock.
They'd be okay with it.
The Cards still got their starters out there. They want to make sure they respect their opponent, get this game done in an effective way and get reps for the guys that are going to be making the plays. They were able to rest guys pretty early against Field Kinley. Maybe we'll get to that point eventually here in this 4th quarter. Stein wants to throw, pressure getting to him, but he gets it off. Looking for Pichnenko against Cy Thomas, and it's incomplete. Good coverage from Cy Thomas and clean coverage from Cy Thomas.
That pass breakup was beautiful. Timing that to go up and rake it through his hands. Can't do it better than that.
So that we will rack it back up. 4th and 12 now from in the end zone. I mean, I suppose you're going to punt, but it is a tough spot to get it out. I mean, the Cardinals could certainly make a play here.
Yeah, no, this is...
They have 11 yards. The Panthers have 11 yards total to work with.
This is 100% within territory to possibly be a block. They could totally make that happen.
I don't even know if a standard punt even makes much sense here. You might turn the camera. You might want him to run out to the side here, but he does get it away. Hoopler's going to catch it, and he's going to get a chance to return here. I think this is the first time tonight. He won't get to go very far. Chased out at the 30 there by Lucas Nance, one of the seniors for the Panthers. Credit to him for being able to get that punt away.
Now Cardinals offense trying to get a peek and see if it's starters out there. It looks as if it still is. Looks to be Carnegie. I see Moody. I see Duncan. So Cards are certainly trying to get that score here and force a running clock and get us out of here in just over 10 minutes. Just over 11, technically.
Carnegie will hand it to Keelan Duncan, the hot hand tonight, and he will be pushed over after getting a few.
It would be so cool to see Duncan be able to score 4 again against Paola.
That would be crazy.
That'd be very cool.
I don't know if they let these players keep game balls, but I hope that he would be able to have 2 on the mantle. Remember the 2 games he played against Paola.
You want to talk about memories for a high school football career? Scoring 4 touchdowns twice against the same team within 14 days.
Yeah, I'd expect that he would remember the playoff one even more fondly. And already, well, 3 touchdowns is pretty darn good, too.
Including one that is pretty improbable in of itself.
Yeah, a ridiculous score. Motion is Mulvihill. He gets the toss, fighting forward, and I think he got the first down. Yep.
That's another senior on the Cards roster, making his impact known, and he certainly has all year long. Every time he's touched the ball on offense, although the volume isn't necessarily super high, he makes the most of every carry he's given. He's been a real bright spot on this prolific Cards rushing attack.
I remember
all season long.
I remember his the first year of Eudora Sports Live when he was mainly just on special teams. He was wearing number 32 and being like, that guy fights harder than anyone else out there. He won every single time he was on the field. It was like, that guy stands out. And now that he's gotten to have a bigger role this season, it's been really cool to see him be a star for the Cards in his senior year. And he's going to get the ball again. He's going to fight forward or no. Actually, he didn't get the ball there. It was a
sacked in the backfield. Carnegie.
Yeah, it was a really good fake there from Mulvihill. Carnegie sacked in the backfield there.
Yeah, and Mulvihill especially, I think it really speaks to the degree of trust you earn from your coaching staff, that you not only becoming a mainstay starter on an offense is a big deal, but becoming a mainstay starter as a motion player and blocker on an offense that almost purely runs the ball. The coaching staff has to put a lot of trust in you for that. So that speaks very highly to him as a player and as a worker and as a teammate to be in that spot in his senior year.
A lot to do here now on 2nd and 21. The Cards are basically back right where this drive began before they picked up a first down. Carnegie receives the snap, looking to throw deep, looks for White. He's got him. Oh, did he catch it on the rebound? No, it's incomplete. White probably should have brought that one in, honestly.
That could have been the most highlight reel-worthy touchdown that maybe Preston White's had all year, and he's had a few of them. So now it's 3rd and 21 to go.
That's a tough pill to swallow right there. Look at this. He was able to really get some separation there.
Yeah, I think Carnegie put that ball a little bit higher than he would have liked to. Of course, kind of keeping it lower, throwing a little more of a bullet-style pass would have given him more room, but Preston White still climbed the ladder and gave himself a really good shot at it. That's one he's going to want back for sure.
3rd and really long here. They give it to 21 on 3rd and 21. What can Duncan do? He's fighting for everything he can get. I think he got maybe 8 back there. What will the Cards do here on 4th and still pretty long?
Could keep the offense out there, or he could give Caden Dunn back a shot at it. We know he's capable of making a field goal from this range.
Yeah, let's see. This would be 39. I think you let him have a go.
I think the goal is running clock, though. A field goal doesn't quite get you there.
That's true.
That'd get you to 38 points up. They need 2 more than that.
The sideline is bustling. I think they're considering it. Talking things over with Carnegie. The Cards might call a timeout here with 1 second remaining on the play clock. And then go from there. That is exactly what they will do. They call their second timeout of the second half. Still 30-6 over, and actually we're about to hit triple zeros on the clock there, so it will be Bishop Miege next week, for better or worse for the Cardinals. Go ahead and take a break here after their timeout.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agent.
They do send Dunn back out there for a 39-yarder. Let's see what he can do. Snap, hold down. It's a solid-looking kick off the upright. Oh, no good. He had the leg, and honestly, he kind of had the accuracy, but just a little bit off. That is Tough there, no good from Dunback, but certainly shows that he is capable from 40 plus, just a little bit to the left.
I don't know if you saw how that snap was held. That was fascinating to me.
It was
the ball was held down long ways instead of being held straight upright like a traditional. It seemed to be, looked like it, which would make some sense. He's able to get, as a soccer player, he's able to get more drive on it. That's certainly what it looked like to me. See, Carnegie takes a snap, lays it down. It was normal. It was upright.
Was it?
Yeah. Okay.
But
I was just wanting to get excited about something, I suppose.
Close from Dunback. I don't know how you couldn't get any elevation under a ball like that if it were placed like
pure
that.
line drive. Pure line drive.
Stein throwing on the run, has Kostlow, and he brings it in.
Caught it spinning backwards nonetheless, too.
He also went out of bounds backwards, so the clock continues to run.
Little niche piece of football knowledge there.
Yes, because officially your forward progress is then ahead of the point where you went out of bounds, so you were stopped in bounds, theoretically.
Yep.
So it makes it 2nd and 6.
And I'm interested to see, of course, you know the threshold for points, but I'm interested to see if the clock runs regardless at this point.
I think if that were to happen, the coaches might have to agree to it. This is picked!
That's
Picked off by Eder. Gavin Eder's going to go! Touchdown Cards, the junior, into the end zone. Another defensive score.
And the running clock is no problem. The defense forces it. Gavin Eder seemed almost to be partially to be right place, right time, partially a really skillful play from him too. But he put himself right in the path of that ball over the middle, picks it off, brings it home completely untouched. What a play, what a moment.
A 4th interception for this defense, a 2nd pick 6. The Cardinals lead 48-7, and Dunback's right out there for some redemption. And his kick will be up and good, so 49-7 here. I suppose we'll have to wait until after the kickoff maybe for that running clock, but it is 49-7. The Cardinals have scored 7 times here tonight. They are doing very nicely. We will go to a break.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Hip and cool.
49-7 is our score. Dunback will kick this one off deep. Likely to be another touchback. It will go over the head and into the end zone. So it will start at the 20. Will that running clock start? Doesn't look like it right now. Maybe when the drive begins, I'm not sure.
We'll keep waiting for a point for it to start, and it may never start.
Well, at this point, Bishop Miege have officially won, so they will be the Cardinals' date next week. See, it was 2021 that the Cardinals season and 2022 under Coach Steffen that the seasons ended at the hands of Bishop Miege in the playoffs. So the Cardinals couple times have tasted defeat against the Stags, including this staff, or at least this head coach, Drew Steffen.
Even more impressive, Bishop Miege is 5-5 on the year.
Just after that playoff win.
After the victory tonight,
wow.
yeah.
So they're below 500.
They were 4-4. That would, 3-5. That would mean coming into the playoffs.
So
that's unbelievably
did they
impressive.
upset first round as well, or were they favored? Does it show?
13 seed. I'm not sure we'll see seeding. They played Atchison.
They beat Atchison. Oh, they beat them comfortably. They must have been favored.
They
you
beat
can't
Atchison.
win 57-7 if you're not favored.
Sure. And they started the season 1-2, or they started the season 2-1. Then they lost 4 straight games, and then they've won 2 straight in the playoffs by a comfortable margin over Atchison and Tonganoxie. Flag thrown in the backfield here for the Panthers. It's going to back them up a bit, make it second down and about 16. Yeah, we'll try to find a bracket there, but 13 seed of Bishop Miege, surely.
I mean,
you would think they would have been the lower
5
seed.
Tongi.
I think Atchison would have been a 9 seed.
4 seed Atchison.
4 seed.
57-7, and then beat 5 seed, right? Tongi 30-6. So I think that their seed, maybe somebody was hurt or something.
That's a scarier team than the record shows.
Hopefully the interview with Coach Steffen will explain some things, because I don't know what is going on there. That is a scary, scary team that maybe have figured something out.
Yeah, that is very clearly a team that you can't look at as a 13 seed the same way we may have looked at Field Kinley as a 16 last week.
They have beaten
the same
4 and a 5 seed, and they beat them by, what is that, a combined 74 points.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We can focus back in here on the Cards, as they have put some backup players in now, or getting some rest for some of the starters, so we should call out the names of players making tackles here as this game winds towards a close.
By the way, Reed, that means in their last 2 games, Atchison and Tongi, they have outscored their last 2 opponents 87-13.
Yeah, against a 4 seed and a 5 seed.
As a 3-5 team coming in. So that's going to be a fascinating matchup to cover throughout the week.
Interesting.
Cards may have a really good matchup on their hands next week.
Maybe too good.
Certainly looks like it. No such thing.
Here's the handoff to the left side. Trying to shuffle through some different players. Eder will push him out of bounds. That carry went to Rylan Grandin.
Looks like Brian De La Rosa coming in for the Cards defense in place of Eder, who will exit.
You sure it was 40 or 50 points for the running clock? Because we're not seeing that running clock.
It could be 50. I was assuming 40 based off last week, but it was 50-0 at halftime. So if it was 50, they did still hit
based
that
on
threshold.
the quarter, I suppose.
Yes.
Third and fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Well, whatever it is, we get to see a little bit more football here. And now that the Cardinals do have some new players in there, it's always fun to see different guys get reps.
Always.
And this Panthers team is going to test them. Here's a toss to Costello, who cuts back, switching fields, and he will still be brought down before he can make much of a gain there.
Looks like Landon Adler-Rooney, one of the players over there, who got a hand to him.
Landon Adler-Rooney,
correct, yeah.
Eudora.
LAR. So that will force 4th and 3, and the Panthers going to go for it. Nothing to lose at this point. They came in with nothing to lose. They certainly have nothing to lose now. The corner on the near side here, Brian De La Rosa in coverage. This will be another give to Costello, going to the left side, and he will get the first.
So conversions for the Panthers here, and they're going to, of course, no running clock at this point means they have an opportunity to get a touchdown here on the board as well. Opportunity to make it look a little closer and give themselves a bit of positive momentum to carry into the offseason. Of course, a roster with still a lot of players in their sophomore or junior seasons means a lot of returning players. So a little bit of momentum here in the last couple of minutes. If they're able to play well, get a score or 2, they could carry quite a bit into the offseason and give themselves a better outlook on the following season for sure.
This carry will not go very far. Looked like that was Jarrett Phillips on that tackle.
Hensley, the ball carrier. Brody Breckeisen and Andrew Staples.
Oh, they have Breckeisen and Staples. Staples was someone that Coach Steffen was excited to see play today.
I wish I knew exactly how long he'd been out for, but I don't exactly have that available off the top of the head.
Now wanting to throw, Stein looking deep. And, a great pass break up there by Lyric Langley.
No flag thrown either. Clean coverage.
Yeah, that was very nice. He has his eye on the ball the whole time and made a play on it.
You got to think for this Panthers team, the backups come in, they try to throw it downfield, and these corners on the backup side of things for the Cards are still playing really well.
Seeing also Jay Noble warming up, so I think we know what we'll see if the Cardinals touch it on offense again.
Such a positive for a lot of these younger players. I mean,
we saw Noble
maybe
was
the
like
biggest
a joystick.
Yeah, the biggest upside to a lot of these games where the Cards win by a lot is players who wouldn't get snaps have gotten a lot of playtime this year.
Here's Murdoch. He might find the seam here. Murdoch, he's going, and he will slow down and be brought down at the 6. Stop made there.
That was Staples.
Yeah, Andrew Staples again making the play. I can see already why Coach Steffen likes him. We got a flag here. Go, show it.
Flag just now got thrown out at midfield. Coach is not happy about it.
The flag might be on him. I'm not sure.
Looks as if Coach is getting a stern talking to from the official, so that could very likely be what it is.
It could be something on the sideline, maybe not Steffen specifically. I'm not sure.
Flag is picked up. May hit the ground again, but at the moment it's off the ground. May have just been a firm talking to.
Well, yeah, I was noticing another coach yelling at some of the players on this Cardinals sideline, so maybe it was something against their sideline as a whole.
Right, heard something.
I don't know. Let's see. They're pointing at different players here. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the Cards. Okay,
half the distance.
PA says it is a sideline warning. So yeah, I don't know if it was against Steffen specifically. In fact, I would honestly suspect it wasn't.
No.
But probably maybe a player came out, somebody said something. But it is against the Cards.
I would imagine likely something heard from a player on the sideline.
Yeah.
Of course, still at the high school level, passion, emotion running high, and you're winning big in a playoff game, so not impossible to imagine some of that spilling over.
In the grand scheme of things, it won't matter too much, but it does set up the Panthers well here. Goal to go and only a yard out. They might be able to get a second score. Feel a little better about this game. It will be a give, fighting for it, and scoring. The Panthers do get into the end zone. It is Easton Hensley, the junior.
In all honesty, very cool for the Panthers to get some scores here. Something to carry on. Again, a lot of the players on the roster here tonight are returning in the following year, or at least based on the years at the high school level, they will. So something to carry over. That's more significant than you may think. It's not like they're graduating half the roster and none of the players back on the team next year are going to remember this game. Most of these players, this will be the last snap of football they took. So it's going to be fresh, and if you can close it out on a high note, really carry over into next year.
And the kick is good as well. So 49-14 is our score with 3:09 to go.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, Paola do get their second score of the game and now prepare to kick this one off. A lot of different faces out there on the return team for the Cards. This one will come. It will be fielded. I think this is Lyric Langley with the ball. It is Lyric Langley. Lyric Langley finding some space and then steps out at the 33. A nice return there. He's having a nice fourth quarter.
A really nice return. So just under 3 minutes to go. Cardinals will get their chance here.
Could probably try and make it the last drive of the game here. Langley will now step in on offense. We've seen him make a great play at corner, make a nice kick return. He can play on offense as well.
Also see Brody Breckeisen and the starting QB at the moment, Jay Noble, entering the fold as well.
And this will be a give to the backer who does not find any space there.
Certainly going to want to try to make it the last possession of the game, but you're going to have to get at least one first down in order to do that. A couple of them, even if Paola doesn't call any timeouts or try to stop you.
It was Garrett Phillips. Jarrett Phillips, they got that one.
Phillips, of course, a senior in here as well.
And here's a toss to Phillips. Tries to get past a few defenders, and he's still on his feet. He sort of got a boost there from one of the Paola players.
Got popped forward.
Yeah.
It's like he was wrapped up from a couple different angles and was going to go down and then got broken out of it.
Yeah, turned it into a decent gain.
Yeah. Partially spatial awareness to stay on the feet, too. A lot to his credit. Not easy to stay on your feet in that situation. He did a good job of it. This matchup next week has me so intrigued. Looking at some of the roster stuff, some of the stats from that Bishop Miege team.
It's got to just be that the other schools they're playing, other private schools, are really strong opponents because they came out from their regular season 3-5, but they have shown that that was not a fair representation. Looks like another give to Phillips, and he's still on his feet. Trying to find space on the near side, and he's fighting for everything he can get.
I think he got the first down.
Definitely close. Oh, there's a flag. I'm not sure. I don't even see it, but I heard PA.
The crowd almost seems to be echoing, just let it end.
Does this penalty happen to come with a 10-second runoff? Face mask on the Cards.
That's going to be 15. That's going to erase the run and bring them 15 yards farther back.
An offensive face mask.
It might have been on Phillips, actually, with that stiff arm attempt. Nonetheless.
Yeah, 15 yards less, actually. Instead of nonetheless.
Nonetheless, yeah. 15 yards to less. Yeah.
I'm trying, guys. I'm sorry.
We made a comment a couple of weeks ago. It might have actually been in the Paola game. No, it was Aaron Feely with Paola Sports Live.
Yeah.
We were sitting here in the booth together. It was raining. Long story short, we ended up migrated in the same booth.
Yep.
And he made a comment that at a certain point, you kind of just start podcasting when a game turns into a bit of a blowout.
Motion man will get the toss here. This is Nick Campbell. And Campbell cannot find any space. It'll be 4th down.
Beautiful. Speaking of, do we have any idea what the other side of the bracket may look like? Because tonight is regionals. So in this eastern corner of the 4A bracket, we started tonight with 8 teams left. And then after tonight, we have cut down to 4. We know 2 of them are going to be the Eudora Cardinals and Bishop Miege Stags.
Yeah, Bishop Miege, our regional champ.
I believe it would be St. James Academy because we know they beat Spring Hill tonight. I heard midway through the night that Ottawa was up 21-7. I ended up marking that. So I don't know for sure. I heard Chanute and Labette were playing maybe.
Yes, they were. Those scores are not published on the K-Show website yet. They have some of the scores we've already told you about, as this is going to be the last play of the game here. Just a big run back by Noble, who then kneels it down and ends the game. So 49-14 is the final score here. The Cardinals with another playoff win. They've won 9 straight now. Fantastic run here. They remain unbeaten against Frontier League teams. They have been fantastic this year. They beat Paola again, and it is another playoff victory. They are regional champions here for the Cards, and they have earned themselves a date here again with Bishop Miege. We will be there for that one, and it has been a great game here. We will have the post-game show, wrap this one up, look at the different things around the Acacia bracket, so the 4A bracket. So keep it here for the post-game show. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more,
the Cardinals are being presented by Kara Kimberlin with the regional championship plaque.
We appreciate all fans being out to see
Cardinals, something to celebrate here. They've officially won some hardware. I suppose they already had with the Frontier League title, but more hardware here on the year, and they are not satisfied with that. They've got more that they want. They will try to continue next week against Bishop Miege. Wanted to make sure we gave you that presentation. Now we'll go back to a break.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganachi!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, post-game show brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. For 40 years, Eudora Animal Hospital has been caring for pets and livestock with fair pricing, trusted service, and compassionate care. Pet owners from across the region trust their four-legged friends to Eudora Animal Hospital. To learn more, visit eudoravet.com. We just had Errol Seaman up here in the booth sort of educating us on the different things going on this season around different, like around Baker, and also telling us what's the deal with Bishop Miege, and now we're pretty darn scared. We were already. We understood that something didn't quite add up. Apparently, they play mostly 6A schools as a 4A school. So that the fact that they even won 3 regular season games.
It goes from they only won 3 games to, oh my gosh, they won 3 games.
Yeah, so I understand why there were groans in the crowd, which we already knew. There have been plenty of Cardinals seasons ended at the hands of Bishop Miege, and including the first year of head coach Drew Steffen's reign and the year before that with the previous regime. So it'll be a tough one for the Cards. I don't even know if they're particularly favored. It's tough to know. We will find out when we get there, I suppose. They have home field advantage. They are a fantastic team, but they are, I suppose Miege are 4A, but they are undefeated against 4A teams. It was actually when they played the class down that they struggled against Hayden, but this is going to be a tough one for them. This is going to be a really tough matchup, as it should be in the playoffs. The Cardinals, I'm sure, will relish that game, but that'll be a scary one. But you know what? Tonight, the Cardinals won a great game. They have earned themselves another football game next week, and that will be a good matchup. And who doesn't want a good matchup?
Right.
But they have already run down two very strong 4A teams, typically at least, Atchison and Tonganoxie. And, they will now face the 1 seed, so they will have to prove it against the Cardinals here. That will be a fun one. But anyway, let's talk about this game, a 49-14 win for the Cards. 3 touchdowns for Duncan, a super good game for the Cards. Couple pick sixes, 4 picks total. What do you make of the whole performance, Hayden?
Yeah, early on we were focusing a lot on the things Paola was doing well, the things we wanted to see Paola do well. At some point we just had to turn over and go, this Cards team is playing out of their minds. The main thing that we have knocked on them all year for was pass defense. Well, even tonight when they looked like they might be somewhat vulnerable, they continue to get interceptions. They got a pick 6 that was taken off the board even by Des Hubler at one point by a penalty. The main story of the night, if you want to nitpick the Cards, is going to be penalties, especially against Bishop Miege next week. You simply can't be doing that. But defensively against the pass, they looked really, really good. Against the run, as they always do, they looked really, really good. They know that next week is going to be a war. They know they're going to have to play well in every phase of the game. They're going to have to be near flawless when it comes to penalties. But tonight was a good lead up to that. They did a really good job prepping themselves, I think. Now it comes down to a week of really good preparation to prepare for those Stags of Bishop Miege. But this was an impressive game for the Cards. They did everything well. The rushing game worked. The passing game worked. Cy Thomas did well. Houston Carnegie did well. You can't ask for a whole lot more aside from cleaning up some of the general football stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely discipline is the big thing that they will. That will be the key point to fix. But everything else, did go very well for the Cards. Cannot complain about 49 points and a very solid defensive performance. They will be happy with the reps they got in the pass coverage game. There was, on top of there were some fortunate drops. They made the interceptions. There was good coverage. There were good pass breakups, even from Lyric Langley when the starters were getting rested. There were good plays all over the place. There were also some bad ones. There were some pass interferences, but I think that the Cardinals will feel pretty solid about that and go into next week, against a big opponent. Coach Stephan talked about that they loved the idea of building up to Hayden, knowing they're playing the 3A champions, knowing that they're going to be playing a great team. That helped them prepare really well all off season. Well, they've got a 7-game season coming up here where they will have to play Bishop Miege in order to try and earn their way into the next round, and they will be preparing for the hardest game all season. And that's what you're going to be expecting the third round of the playoffs, but it sounds like even more so here with Bishop Miege, as Tonganoxie found out tonight. They are not an easy team, and that 13 seed does not quite fit very well on them, but it is where they find themselves this year. So, that is kind of everything that we could talk about here. Cardinals are regional champions. If nothing else, they are undefeated Frontier League champions, and they are regional champions, and they want more. But if nothing else, they've got that, and they will have that forever. So they have earned another football game, more playoff football in Eudora next week. That'll be right here on Eudora Sports Live. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. Go Cardinals, and have a good weekend.
From the gridiron to the hard court, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at varsitysportslive.com.